why did you kill my brother?
All that Chinese shit happened in-house. You have your own people to thank for that. Not that you'll get the chance, though. Sorry, Romeo, but you gotta die. Damn. That's some cold shit.
This is the warm-up. Say the gym again, Pat.
Never. But I'll say it again.
Never?
It's coming.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's going to say it several times
Like
throughout the podcast.
100 times. But first, I guess we probably need to do an intro.
Yeah, give me the AM radio intro.
Oh wait, we were doing that because I mean this is a different shade. We're doing you're on the DL with Delroy Lindo. Like we got to bring something different.
Do you have other music, Pat?
Of course. All right, let's see how this one goes. Ken, you're on.
What?
Oh, yeah, you brought this on yourself, Ken.
Turn me up with the headphones. I can't.
Can you hear it now?
What?
I can hear it.
It's very faint. But you're dialed into On the DL. That's right. Your favorite podcast about Delroy Lindo and all his amazing films. Bringing us today is our host and moderators, Kareem and the Ginger Giant Pat.
Hello, everybody.
It's our first try. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Great
I
NPR
like
bringing. I don't know.
It's awesome.
We can work on it. We'll work on it.
You got to do a lot of
Workshop that.
enunciation into the microphone.
That's
almost
right.
ASMR-like.
Hey everyone, we're here to talk about Delroy Lindo's movies, and
Is that microphone
specifically
in your mouth?
Romeo Must Die.
I shouldn't have.
I like
gotten
your
the
NPR
microphone
style.
made
It was beautiful. It's beautiful.
I shouldn't have got the microphone made of Oreos. That was my mistake.
You're just talking to a corner of the cob, aren't you? It's not
What?
plugged into anything.
And sorry.
And oh, la-di-da, mister. I don't have money for a corn cob microphone.
A lot of anti-corn on the cob sentiment that I'm not a fan of. I got to be honest.
My bad. We're talking about Delroy Lindo. This is our spinoff pod from the Tangential Giants podcast franchise. We're going to be doing, as the title implies, we're going to be talking about Delroy
series,
Lindo.
if you will.
Yeah, it's a deep dive into Delroy Lindo, and we're hoping to expand this into more actors that have DL in the initials. So if you got any suggestions or themes, let us know. But right now, thankfully, DL's got a... Go ahead.
Does DL Hughley count?
He will, unfortunately. He's got some trouble.
He's on the list.
All right.
But thankfully for us, Delroy Lindo's got an extensive film and theater career, so we could be here for years doing Delroy Lindo stuff. But we thought it'd be nice to at least give the man his flowers while he's alive. And if he ever listens to this, we would love for him to come on the pod and maybe offer one of his favorite, if he has one, a Jamaican recipe. I don't know if him or his family cooks or whatever, but we do know that he's Jamaican, so we're gonna ask him if he ever shows up. Enough rambling, but we're going to give you an overview of Delroy himself, just a quick one, before we get into one of the movies. And we're not going to do this in chronological order, so those of you who are like, oh, I'm going to wait 35 episodes before they get to all the good 90s movies. No, we're going to give you one of the good ones up front. And then we have an interesting one that he did with John Candy way back in the day that I watched last year that we should really definitely cover because it is chock full of stuff that is appropriate to talk about these days.
So episode 2 will be that one.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Kareem, who do we have joining us on the podcast today?
LL Cool J is joining us, ladies and gentlemen. He
Woo!
for some reason his lower third says BMO, but it is LL Cool J.
Wait, his head is like a shark's fin?
It's always been like that.
Deepest, bluest.
Okay. I mean, ladies
Queens
love Cool J,
represent,
that's all
baby.
I know.
Yeah. I think he's on the set of CSI right now, so that's why it looks like that. Is that the show that LL Cool J's on? I don't know.
I
know him and Robin
on
the show
with
together.
with Robin. It's with him with Chris O'Donnell, right?
Yeah. It's one of the CSSs.
Isn't that it's
Bruce.
NCIS LA, right?
NCIS LA SUV TX.
Maybe I don't remember. Yeah.
Tell people about
as long as
yourself.
it's not FBI : CIA. That's why we're starting to lose my shit.
They just don't even that. And I can tell you right now, before you say anything, that's got to be ChatGPT, and they just said run with it.
Wow.
There's no way an editor is going like this. It doesn't make any sense any way you read it.
It
So
doesn't matter.
is the CIA
print.
part of the FBI? Is a subdivision of the FBI? What?
That's what they think.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Dallas.
I mean,
Florida.
Here's the stupid thing. They're like, the average American doesn't know this. I mean, the average American potentially voted for a moron, so why would they know the difference?
A third of America. We gotta keep saying this. A third of America voted for.
A third of America,
not
but
half.
there's also a third there that just bothered not to show up too. So
because they were too busy waiting for CSI, FBI to show up.
Which, by the way, is another spinoff soon enough. I'm sure of.
No, and that one actually makes sense though. At least because that's
at least that would make sense. I think the FBI has a CSI team.
Not two different divisions.
Yeah.
Do you think we can get CBS to sponsor the podcast with all this talk?
We've said enough of their shows already.
Like Paramount, I think owes us money.
I was trying to push from the get-go for ABC to pick up NYPD Blue, FN or what FDNY
like
Red. That one was at least like, okay, why not? Like at least we're keeping up the theme.
And is that like a spy versus spy kind of thing? Do the two branches just go after each other?
It's like Tacoma FD, but less fun.
No,
but
then
more,
I want no part of this shit.
No, more kissing though. Way more kissing.
Ooh.
You got me back.
Things are gonna get hot in the firehouse this Saturday.
But hold on, this is network
Tune
TV
in
though.
to ABC
It's really
7.
it's just kissing.
No, not anymore. They gotta get butts in the seats. Now it's just hardcore.
And they still get Sipwitz's naked butt. They still have Sipwitz's
That's the only butt they show though. Whenever they show someone's butt, they go to Sipwitz's ass.
It's just a steal.
Oh, but Sipowitz does it.
That's all he ever does.
All right, Bruce, who the hell are you?
Did you say where am I or how the hell am I?
Who are you?
None of those.
Who am I?
He's asking for your bona fides.
Yeah, tell people about yourself real quick.
Your name, your social security number, you know.
Your my address.
Yeah,
my favorite position, all that good stuff. Yeah,
all the good stuff.
Do I got to get my full or just
no,
name?
Just whatever you want to tell people.
No. Just your
right.
given title.
Okay. I am. Yeah, my name's Bruce. I am I don't even know what my current occupation is right now. USPS,
Hustler.
kind of.
Hustler.
Oh yes, hustler,
baby.
Yes,
Who I am.
hustler, washed up football player, former coach. How you guys doing?
Perfect.
We're good. Good to have you, Bruce. We
check the gate. We're done.
This is your first time on the pod, so we are happy to have you, and we hope that you come back after this.
Depending on how it goes.
Of course, I have more free time.
Great. So it's Pat, myself, and Ken. We're all here. Let me just get into Delroy's bio, unless Pat has anything else he wants to join in real quick.
I'll say my jackass comments for a moment.
Okay. Delroy George Lindo was born November 18th, 1952, in Lewisham, London, England. So but he's also Jamaican. His mother's a nurse, immigrated to the UK in 1951. His father worked various jobs. Lindo moved to Toronto with his mother when he was a teenager, and later to San Francisco, which is the spot of the movie we're going to be talking about later. So San Francisco is going to come up several times.
Well, really Oakland.
Wait, so then
technically Canada still. So we've come full circle.
Yeah, did he just show up here? Did he outlive his visa? Good heavens! Already we're going to be worried about.
We got a whole deportation section for Delroy. Sorry, Delroy. You're getting thrown to the chipper. He developed an interest in acting as a child and attended the American Conservatory Theater, graduating in 1971. Early in his career, Lindo made his film debut in the 1976 Canadian comedy Find the Lady, which is the movie I was telling you guys at the top with John Candy. He played an army sergeant in it. He also played in More American Graffiti in 1979. His early career was more focused on theater, which, again, we'll cover some of the theater stuff he does throughout this overview of the man's life. In 1982, he debuted on Broadway in Master Harold and the Boys, directed by the play's author, Athol Fugard. I think I chopped that up badly, but He doesn't listen, so who cares? By 1988, Lindo earned a Tony nomination for his portrayal
Feel
of
free,
Harold.
Delroy, Mr. Lindo,
Yeah,
please.
yes,
Just hit
please.
us up on Twitter or Blue Sky or
Oh
what
no, I'm
have
not
you.
saying Delroy's not listening. I'm saying whoever Thal Fugard is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean Delroy's for sure gonna be.
He's definitely listening.
Yeah.
He got a Tony nomination for his portrayal of Harold Loomis in August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone. His breakthrough and Spike Lee collaborations are what I think most people are going to be really focused on. Lindo's career gained a significant attention with his roles as West Indy Archie in Spike Lee's Malcolm X, which I thought was, I don't know if any of you guys recall that, but that was a pretty amazing role. And again, we'll revisit that later. And that movie came out in 1992. The performance showcased his talent and led to more prominent roles in Spike Lee films. There's a bit of a note that he has in an interview where he talks about being in theater with Denzel Washington, and that's what kind of helped him get more roles of Spike Lee because Spike Lee kept going back to Denzel. It wasn't like Denzel was like, "Hey, I hire this guy because I like him or know him," but it was just the fact that he trusts Denzel's opinion and the stuff that he's been in. So he was like, "Hey, Delroy can get in some more stuff with me."
Nice.
He was also in Woody Carmichael in Crooklyn, which is again another Spike Lee joint. Rodney Little in Clockers in 1995, and Paul in The Five Bloods, which was a Netflix thing that came out in 2020. His performance in The Five Bloods won him the New York Film Critics Award for Best Actor and the National Society of Film Critics Award for Best Actor as well. Some of his diverse roles started like I said, the 90s, which is again where the movie we're going to talk about kind of comes into play. Lindo continued to take diverse roles, including Bo Cattle and Get Shorty. I totally forgot about that, but we'll go back to that.
He's like
Arthur
the main
Rose.
protagonist.
Yeah, and Arthur
Scum,
Rose and the
right over
Cider House Rules, which was I think another one of those defining things, and Detective Castlebeck in Gone in 60 Seconds. I will never forget that.
You seem to have left out Congo.
Oh, there's more, Pat. Like I said, the guy's got an extensive career.
50 years.
These are some of these diverse roles. He also starred in TV series such as The Chicago Code in 2011, Believe in 2014, and The Good Fight from 2017 to 2021. And I'll give you a little bit of his accolades, and then we'll jump into the movies. But Lindo's powerful performance on stage and screen has earned him numerous accolades, including the NAACP Image Award, a Satellite Award, and a nomination for a Drama Desk Award, a Helen Hayes Award. I have no idea what the hell that is, but it sounds impressive. He's got a Tony
Award from
Award.
Helen Hayes.
Oh, so is that like an Angie List Award?
Yeah, no, and just Helen comes out and gives you an award. She's really nice.
As long as you don't get an award from Karen, I guess you're okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
He's got 2 Critics' Choice Awards for television awards, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Delroy Lindo's first 30 years in the acting world were marked by a steady rise to prominence with significant contributions to both theater and film. His collaborations with Spike Lee and his versatile performance have cemented his legacy. Unfortunately, after all his accolades, the man doesn't have an Academy Award. If I could start pitching for one right now, I think you should get one. Because he's one of those. I think he's beyond a character actor. He's not one of those kind of guys like, oh, I remember him in that movie. It's like, no, this is DL, and he usually is, to Pat's point, kind of a main leg in most things that he is in. I also would go ahead, Pat.
I would say he's not always the main character, but he's always an important character. That's like he's like, oh, if he is in it, it shows a certain level of quality that you're going to have.
Yeah,
at the very
he's a very strong second. Like he's to the point that it's likely he hasn't been given the opportunity to be the first man, and that's for any number of reasons, which we can cover, obviously. But it's like when he's in that, you know that they're going to have some. So he's got acting chops, and he's there for it. Like the role that I think of often is Ransom against when he's the agent that's trying to help Mel Gibson get his kid back, and he's decisive. He's trying to help him. His wife's trying to he's being pulled in so many different directions, and he's trying to give the best advice possible. That's probably the one that one of the first ones on my radar. Otherwise, it was The Hard Way with Michael J. Fox and not Ed Wood, what the heck? James Woods. That's where I the first time I saw him in something. But yeah, in a movie like Ransom, where you have so many strong actors, he definitely still stands shoulder to shoulder with a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that I think we need to find, or I don't know, maybe there already is a defined category for this, but it's the father/mentor role. that I believe Pedro Pascal is kind of filling right now for a lot of movies. I feel like Delroy kind of, maybe he didn't pioneer it, but I've in the time I've been watching movies and TVs for the last 40 some years, have had that knowledge. He's filled that role. He's always either been a mentor-esque, even if he's like a criminal, like he was a mentor in Malcolm X to Malcolm X, even though he was like a mob boss kind of. He was a mentor, even mentoring Nicolas Cage as he was hunting him in Gone in 60 Seconds. He's been the father figure in a ton of stuff. And so
This Christmas.
Exactly. He was like, yeah, the main one. So I'm like, there's got to be, if there's a reward section for that, or just a filler, I don't know, maybe it's an industry term that they use. Like, we need someone to fill this blank section. I feel like that he was the go-to guy for a long time for that, especially for
Like Danny. Like
Who?
Danny Trujillo. Danny.
You mean for like the mobster Mexican guy?
Well, yeah. I mean, something like that. His roles.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's like on the casting call, they have terms for these, and they're like, I need a blank. Can you find me a Delroy Lindo type?
Yeah.
But I feel like right now they've been saying, okay, can you find me a Pedro Pascal type? Because he's been filming those. Like, if you look at the movies he's been in, it's like, oh, he's the mentor / dad in the last, I don't know, 7 projects he's been in.
Yeah, like for at one point he might have been like, "Hey, it's that guy." Now you're like, "No, that's Delroy Lindo. He's a known name. He's a known commodity."
Oh, definitely. And for those people that are still kind of drawing a blank, he's been known for the racist GIF, which I love. It's not even a GIF; it's really just like a clip where he's on network television. He's playing in the role of network television, and there's a guy sitting across from a white guy who's talking about diversity and racism and whatnot. And Delroy Lindo's egging him on to say, because he knows he wants to say the word that a lot of, I don't know, devout racists like to kind of throw out there and then have plausible deniability about. Yeah, say it. Good.
Say it. Go
you
ahead.
want to say it? I'll say it with you. I'll put the clip in here as we're talking, but you'll know.
It looks so
you don't
real.
Know anything else? That's what you're known for on the internet, because you've seen it and you've seen other people use it. With that being said, we're going to jump into our first movie for Delroy, and we'll bring up some other facts and stuff as we go through it. But I've talked enough about his intro. Pat, do you want to kind of give us an overview of the movie? I put it in the OneNote if you want to use that, or you can just wing it from the top because you're pretty good at that.
I will see what I can do, and we'll just see how
you can
it
do both.
Goes.
Yeah,
I will do both.
It's not an or thing.
You know what? I'm not starting off great. Let me dust myself off and try again.
Oh, there he is.
We're gonna be talking about a little movie known as Romeo Must Die. Sorry, Romeo, but you gotta die. The movie came out in the year 2000. I want to give the exact date. March 24th, 2000. Simpler time, man. Simpler time.
Way back.
I remember this movie being one of the big, I think this was like Jet Li's second or third US only movie. And it was really in the height of, we're going to take like Jet Li and jam him into films and just let him go to town. And he just had that string of like action movies where I think he fought like, I know DMX is prominently involved in a couple of them.
Well, that's because the director who does this goes on to do like Cradle to Grave, or wait, sorry,
which is the DMX one.
Yeah, and DMX is in this one, and like they do. He's like, no, this is my oeuvre. These are my trilogy that are all soft.
Well, this is the era, and I think this is kind of the tail off of the rap rock thing that kind of came and hit hard and hit fast. It was a lot of we're gonna mash genres together in the late 90s, early 2000s. We don't know what to do with these two things, but if they could be like peanut butter and jelly, we can make some money. Like, that's what I kept thinking.
There was definitely a fairly racist Hollywood executive that said, black people like kung fu movies. Let's get that Jet Li in there and put him with DMX and go to town.
Guys.
Happened.
I just heard about this group called Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
I think we could do something with this.
It's perfect.
This group of black guys love kung fu.
Yeah. We got this. And
I mean,
then,
this is right after Lethal Weapon 4 that he makes his, I believe, American debut. Like, he's in other things as well, but those are mostly overseas. And I think the main thing that hits for him here in the States is Lethal Weapon 4.
yeah, but I think this is his first, Lethal Weapon 4. Like Jet Li is the
No, I'm
co-lead.
saying he's a star.
Yeah.
He is number one on the call sheet.
Well,
I was just saying that this, like,
he's 1A because this is also the Aaliyah movie.
absolutely
The first one.
This is
And the only one. That's
Well,
that's
no,
premiered
no,
when she was
Queen of
alive.
the Damned. Queen of
When
the
she
Damned
was
happened.
alive. You didn't let me finish. This is the only movie that premiered while she was alive.
Queen of the Damned came out after she died?
Yeah.
yeah, it's posthumously released.
That's how it made more money. Sad.
Unfortunately, maybe.
I'm sorry, it just wasn't that good. I don't know what to tell you.
It wasn't
Sorry,
a good
Leah.
movie. We're gonna keep it real, but
All right. So
it's only her second one though. So
if we're gonna be honest, this movie is most known for the song "Try Again" by Aaliyah. Like everybody, if you are of a certain age, you know that song, and probably if you're not of a certain age, because they use it a lot in memes and everywhere else. Like it's I think it's Timberland is involved in this, and
producing it, yeah.
Yes. So that is really what, if we're talking about anything it's known for, it's
How
gonna be
dare
that.
you, sir? This is known for the Anthony Anderson Comedy Hour. This
I was
is
about to say,
time.
like, this is also
This
a
is
launching
this is
point
back
for
when he
Anthony
was
Anderson.
like fat and funny.
This is
Not Ozempic
Wow.
and melancholy.
Wow.
No, this
I'm
is
just saying.
this is funny Anthony Anderson the first go around before he was serious. This is before The Shield and all that stuff. This is just him being funny. No Law and Order yet, none of that. So this is the first round, and I think he's probably still doing stand up at this point, right?
I think
this is
TV shows.
And
was this before or after Harold and Kumar, where he's like in the drive-thru, he's like, "Pookie, let's burn this mother down." And like,
this is before.
Yeah.
This is before. Yeah.
This is kind of this is arcing into that. Like he's getting prominence here, and he'll show up in other things. But it's again
like Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So
it's crazy too, because it's like he has, like, if you look at the 2000s block, he's got like 7 films,
7 bangers. You damn right he does.
It's just like, and some of them are like this, like, he's in 3 Strikes as a prison guard, but it's not even a speaking role because it's unconfirmed and uncredited. But then it's like he's in Ally McBeal, Big Mama's House, Foo Fighters music video, Me, Myself, and Irene. That's another time where I'm like, oh, okay, that guy's I remember him.
Yeah, he's the son.
Urban Legends Final Cut.
He's in Exit Wounds. He continues along this
Yeah,
yep.
exactly. Like, I was gonna.
Sorry, I apologize. Jumped in.
Pat gets
no,
excited.
the director was just like, no, I love these guys. I'm bringing them back for multiple things.
This guy was the Martin Scorsese of black hip hop kung fu movies.
I mean, someone had to be, right. So he's like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fill that void. I'm there. So I'm for it. I'm saying, it's like, why not?
I watched them. Yeah, I
watched
them all. So
yeah,
but keep going, Pat.
All right. So the movie itself is actually about the evils of the NFL. If we're going to be really honest about it,
it really is. Yeah,
it's basically about a gang war happening between. I want to say they literally are the triad, but it's
I don't know what they're called.
It's unnamed because they're just generic.
It says it's as part of the overview that we scraped, i.e. AI. Kind of AI did. We just pulled it actually from Wikipedia. They call it
publicly. That's just
because everyone uses Wikipedia. It's okay to use Wikipedia. I didn't AI.
Yeah, but Wikipedia isn't AI though.
No,
you're not AI.
I'd rather admit to using Wikipedia than using AI. They use Po Sing, which is the youngest son of the Chinese triad boss.
Yes.
So they do it officially called the Chinese triad.
Okay, so it's the Chinese triad versus a black gang in Oakland, California. And all of this is happening. There is a gang war happening. The youngest son of the head of the Chinese triad gang is killed, and that brings his brother, who has been in prison.
He's tossed out of a window, by the way.
Yes. Well, a lot of people get tossed out of a window. No, wait, no,
he's not.
Isn't. No, you're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
No. Oh, sorry.
Let the man do his job.
Calm down.
I got my window falls mixed up.
God. His death leads to his brother Jet Li, who is character is Han, who's in prison in Hong Kong, leads to him escaping prison to go investigate in Oakland, because that's
Hold on.
easy to do and can happen.
Before you jump any further into it, though, you do have to mention that he's a cop in prison, and we don't know why.
I didn't get there. I do know why. He went to prison because he did so that his brother and father could escape.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
that's not revealed until later on, because it just starts with Poe hanging out in a club that's run by DMX with some sexy ladies, and he's like, yes, continue dancing. You're very
what?
Yeah. And then the dude walks up. He's like, you better get out of here because I don't like you. He's like, let the man just have his time. Like he's hanging out, having a good time. What's the problem here?
Well, it should be noted he is in the one of the black clubs, and that is a no-no right now because gang war, not great.
Yeah.
So there's problems there.
Yeah, there's problems with that. So then he gets a little bit of a ruckus, and then guess who shows up? But Russell Wong, his protector, who by the way, I should have found a way at some point earlier to bring in Russell Wong because he is one of my favorite 90s actors, because he had a show. There was a spin-off of the movie series Vanishing Son, where his brother he's trying to find his brother in America after being separated due to internal strife within the first few movies, and then it turns into a show, and Russell Wong goes around America trying to find his brother, and it's awesome and fun, and it's one of the few Asian American stories, and with a focus on an Asian character in the 90s. It was great for me. And so, but Russell Wong shows up. I'm like, hell yeah, Russell Wong, let's go. But yeah, he plays. I'm sorry, I have the name, but don't know if you have it.
I do.
Who's Russell?
Let me get up to it. Russell Wong plays Kai.
Kai, yes, he plays Kai, and he's the protector of Poe, and he's like, okay, let's just go ahead and let's call it a night. Let's go get out of here. Then some people decide, they want to find out. They decide to fuck around, so they do it.
He is the right-hand man of Henry O's character, Chu Sing.
Yes, the father of
the father
Poe and Han,
and the patriarch of the Chinese Triad Gang.
It's more of a handler for what's going on.
This is where the titular Delroy Lindo comes in, because he is the patriarch of the other side of the equation. He plays Isaak O'Day. Let me double check, make sure I said that correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right.
Yes, Isaak O'Day. Yes. So
Isaac with 2 A's.
With 2 A's and a K.
And a K.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Poe is I lost my place. All right. So Poe is murdered. Kai finds him. This leads to Han coming back. Basically, the entire plot revolves around the NFL is trying to build a stadium in Oakland. That's the entire thing. They want to build a stadium in Oakland. And Isaak O'Day is trying to basically get the land and get it to the NFL so they can build that stadium, because it's a big land deal. It's going to be worth millions of dollars. Millions. I want to say it's $58 million, which this now would be $1 billion. So
yeah, it's laughable now.
Yes, nothing.
But it's all the okay. So I do want to preface that because I'm a ridiculous pet, and we all know this. So it's not Kai that finds him. It's just a kid who's doing a paper route or leaving the house, looks up, sees Poe hanging from a tree in the black side of Brooklyn area. I'm not sure exactly where this is supposed to be at certain times. And so just a random kid finds him. Then word gets back to the Kai, and then back to Father Singh. And then you also find out that then we cut to the O'Day house, where Mac is having a few words, and he comes up. He's like, tells Isaac, "Hey, this is what's going on." And he's like, "All right, let's set up a meeting with Singh." And they go, and I think they go to an airport. It looks like, because they go through metal detectors, so they're trying to show oh no, we're trying to set up a neutral ground. And Isaac comes to Papa Singh, is like, "Hey, I'm sorry for your loss." And Papa Singh's like, "Yeah, you don't. It's keep your words for yourself." And he's kind of standoffish, and it's a little bit. I mean, it's this entire time you don't know who did what, or why they did it. So you're kind of like, okay, so we're learning bit by bit. These two are in an uneasy alliance, trying to manage either side of their cartels.
They're in an alliance because they're both working on a joint deal for this NFL thing. And so with the
but we don't know about the NFL aspect of it until probably halfway through.
Yeah, no, but it's fine. But if you're listening to this right now, spoiler alert, go watch the movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's
should watch it.
fine.
You
You
should
can
watch it
watch it
straight.
on YouTube in clips right now. Like it's there. You're good.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
worry.
the overall premise is implied early on, though, obviously, that
It's a land.
they,
It's a land grab.
well, not only that, but just that at least the way that it's shot and cut and edited, that it's implied that the Black Gang had something to do with this, because you get the fight tussle, and then you get what would essentially be the resolution of him being, found hung in the neighborhood. So it's led to believe, like, okay, they must have caught up to him after he left the party, and this is the result of that. That's at least how you're led to believe by the way it's edited.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
So, Delroy Lindo's character, Isaac.
That's about. I'll say about then is when we see a bunch of people show up to a Chinese prison, and then new people arrive and show up, and word gets to Han that, like, I bet there's multiple times where people lean in to tell people something, and I'm like,
a lot of whispering.
They whisper, but they're not saying anything. There's like you're not saying anything. Don't like give me something here. Like they non-whisper talk to someone, and then boom, the person's gone. Like, all right, he starts a fight in the mess hall, and he gets drug away, and Han's like,
it's not.
All right, well, he's going to go to the hole now because he started a fight.
The
so
connection's bad.
It's really unfortunate. He finds out about something, and we don't know what he found out, but
we also don't know the time difference.
Yeah.
Like,
things word travels fast, real fast. Like,
huh?
Why don't you do it on the left?
Sorry.
Can you bring it to me, please?
Yeah, did we get connection here? I don't know what's going on, guys.
No, we're here. Word travels very fast. Now, your anger at the whisper, it wasn't for your ears.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know what to tell you. Just it wasn't for you. Maybe you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to add. We lost Bruce for a moment. I'm trying to add him back in, but he is. It's taking a little time to
the deck here. Who's
That's
just
me.
like, let's have fun?
There we go. All right.
3-card Monty. Keep
guys, keep it moving. Keep it. All right.
Keep you out of the card. Red card. Get you out of the red card.
Han breaks out of prison and in no time is able to fly to the U.S. We have the
no passport.
Funeral
how
happens.
does he get on a plane? Yeah, how does he get on a plane being a fugitive?
Pre 9/11.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's pre 9/11.
Like
he commandoed it. He rode on the landing gear until he got in, and then did a thing. Like, it's fine. It's pre 9/11. I'll believe
pre 9/11. He had under 3 guns, so he was allowed on the plane.
Fair.
Okay, 3-gun minimum.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. At the funeral, Han shows up and blames his father for his brother's death. And at the same time, Isaac is concerned that even though Chu says that the deal is still on, he's concerned that he's going to look for retribution. So he puts security detail on his son, Colin, who, don't worry about it, it's fine. Like, he'll be mentioned, but it's not a big deal. And Colin's his daughter, Trish, played by Aaliyah, and the security detail that she gets is none other than Maurice or Anthony Anderson. Being hilarious, hitting on her every time they're on screen, just never shutting up, just doing his thing. Yes. Just shooting it out. So Isaac instructs
But hold on, he has a crew too, by the way. It's not just him.
Yeah, it's him and like a bunch of guys.
3 other guys
like,
or something, yeah.
There to get their ass beat by Jet Li every 10 minutes.
Basically, yeah.
I think at this point too, we do pop into a barber shop at one point, and some the guy's getting a shave because you got to get a shave in the time you're in a barber shop. Someone's getting a shave, and he's like, "Oh, we got a package delivered. Why don't you look what's inside this?" Boom! He got a box full of fire and it explodes, destroys the barber shop.
Right.
And
it's quite
pretty
the total
quickly.
shift.
We also get and then pretty quickly we also get a newspaper like, "Oh, look what happened to this guy." It's like, "Oh man, he was a really good guy." He's like, "Yeah, I know. It's a shame." It's like we know that they're trying to clear out, like, just because we've been in these type of films before.
What else are you gonna do?
We know that they're going to be trying to get people's deeds, and they start talking about like, "Oh, well, we need the deed to that place. We need to get this," and we start to learn like, okay, they're just trying. It's a land grab thing, and for some reason, it's like, oh, well, then are we supposed to believe that this is an attack for the gang thing? I'm like, I'm not buying that off the bat, because why would the Chinese gang triad care about an old barber shop other than just the territory thing? It's just like, that old man ain't doing nothing but hurting. He's giving people haircuts. Who cares? Leave the man alone.
So
And they blow up his shop. So I'm like, this isn't jiving. I already know like something's up.
Ken is just cutting through the M. Night Shyamalan twists and turns of this movie and getting right to the meat of it. He's not being fooled. He's not being tricked.
Nope.
I do think it's important to note that Trish refuses, played by Aaliyah, refuses to be involved in her father's criminal activity. So she just runs her clothing shop, which is definitely not funded by the money from the criminal activity at all. Definitely no criminal money was put in. All right.
We could also mention too that her name is Alia.
Am I saying it wrong? Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, that's the correct pronunciation. It's like, because I saw a video of her pronouncing it like it's like Ali, like Muhammad Ali. So it's Alia, but like a hard emphasis on the A. But also, I heard it the opposite way for all X amount of years until just recently. So I understand the mistake, but just put it out there. Remember, anyone who has anything to upset about us, please send us emails at Emerald Knight. If you go ahead and send it over there, it's fine. We'll deal with it there.
Okay. This is all right. By chance, Han goes into Trish's clothing store and helps her escape her security detail. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he doesn't.
I thought it was by chance.
No. So Han, so Maurice shows up and is like, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna be your protection." Oh, and I'm sorry. Actually, I scratch that. She ends up going out with Mac, and Mac says, "Hey, your dad's into some deep stuff. You have to take the security detail with you. This is who's going to be your detail." She goes with Mac at one point, or with Maurice at one point, and then she ducks out of the record store to go to get away from him, and she hops into a cab, and Akbar, who is now being played by Jet Li, it was hotwiring the cab and stealing it because he's trying to get to see his dad and stuff like that, and that's how she meets him, is in the cab.
She hops in the cab saying, "Get me out of here." At this point, Jet Li Han is lying, saying his name is Akbar, so he doesn't because he's doing.
Technically speaking, he doesn't lie. He's like he just says, "Okay, I'll turn the cab."
That's the name of the cab driver.
Yeah, it's on the placard, and she's like,
"Yeah,
Akbar."
I think it's gonna hold up in court, Ken. I gotta be honest.
You know, I'm just saying. He didn't. He didn't misrepresent himself.
Well, technically, he did.
Assumed. She assumed. Okay. She's
that
like, oh,
that doesn't.
Man in the cab must be a cabbie, right? Oh, I see how it is.
I mean, if he agrees to it, I think he misrepresented himself.
So it's her fault.
He even gave her the money back. Back.
Oh, like, no, is it a woman? Blame the victim, Ken. You know the rules. Yeah. You know the rules.
Oh, wow. This is where you're woke nonsense.
Why did she get in his cab if she wasn't asking for it?
Wait, who has woke nonsense? I'm confused now because neither.
I don't even know who does at this point.
Like you're both going the other way.
Quite frankly, if he was dressed like a cabbie, he was asking for it. I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely asking. Was he dressed like a cabbie though?
No.
All right. Well, this leads to one of the first scenes with between Trish and Han, and they start to form a friendship. And it turns out Han discovers that the last person to talk to his brother that day was someone that made a phone call from Trish's clothing store. How convenient. All right. So
keep going.
Oh, I thought Ken was going to jump it. All right. So
you pissed him off enough with all your inaccuracies.
I guess so. I'll just keep being inaccurate then. So after that, Colin, Trish's brother, Isaac's son, tells Isaac that he was actually going to meet Poe the night of the murder to discuss information that could, quote unquote, end the war. As that happens that night, Colin is hanging out with his girlfriend. Everybody's having a good time. And Kareem, why don't you talk about Windows real quick? Because now's your chance.
Yeah, he's sitting there doing the Fredo speech. I'm smart. I could run things. I got passed over, kind of thing. He's talking to, I don't know if it's one lady or maybe two ladies.
It's his girlfriend. She was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Is it just his girlfriend? I didn't know if he was one of the kind of.
I think
Yeah.
it's just
So,
his
but they're
significant
like,
other.
I think they're doing drugs. Yeah, I don't. I think yeah, they're smoking. I think, and I think they're drinking. If not, maybe doing a little bit of coke. But they are, basically showing you the lavish life of what is it called when you nepotism, basically.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if they show you if someone breaks in or not
They don't.
as he's giving the speech.
No, they just kind of show you like, someone's here.
Yeah,
Oh no, and then
and then yeah, then they cut to the next scene where they are being tossed out of the penthouse window, him and his girlfriend, into I believe the fisherman's wharf below or whatnot, the
yeah.
bay or whatever underneath the building, and then you get to the next morning where I think Isaac and Mac are already there, and the
Mhm.
police are kind of doing their thing of dragging the bodies out of the water, and I believe Aaliyah shows up to at that moment where they're kind of putting the bodies into the ambulance and gives a first starts crying, breakdown, and then she immediately goes to anger and blaming her dad for this.
Yes, there's a lot of like hitting, and I do feel like unfortunately we did skip a very important scene.
Sorry, what did we skip?
That would
we need to
be
get back to
the
that.
football scene.
Is that before the murder or after?
I believe it is
That's-
before the murder, because by the murder, Trish and Han have already teamed up.
You're right, because
So-
he is there to console her as she.
So
erupts
that
in her dad. Gotcha.
that is my bad. In between the death of Colin and the initial Trish escape from Maurice, there is a scene where Han meets up with Trish in the park when she's like buying ice cream for kids, and she's watching Mac and Maurice and all. Go ahead, Ken.
There's two scenes, because there's a scene where he's like, wait, he gets the information that his brother, he goes back to his brother's place, hits the redial, finds out that it's Sapphire Phoenix or whatever the name of her clothing place is,
Mhm.
goes back to it, sees Trish walking out, has a cabbie follow her to her place, and he walks into her home. She just like puts out her groceries, and he just walks into her home, and he's like, I have some questions. It's like, what do you mean you have some questions?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here? Like, this is you can't just do this. And
You
like,
can when your
really,
name is Akbar and you drive a taxi. Come on,
right,
True.
exactly.
pre
And so he
9/11, Ken.
Everybody knows
Yeah,
taxi
fair
law.
Fair enough. And so he just kind of like barges in, but he at least like he wins. He's like, oh, it's about my brother. He passed away, and she's like, okay, well, sorry, I can't help you. Like a lot of people call the house, maybe it's call the shop, and he's like, okay, and so he's gonna leave, and then right then they start to hear Maurice show up, and they're all loud, and all the boys are hanging out, and he's like, okay, no, I've got this, and he's like, okay, take some money. He was like, and he plays it off as if he's a delivery guy, and I'm like,
Yes.
okay, so this is how he gets away, and then. That's when Maurice shows up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay." Starts to talk to her. He's like, "Wait, I don't smell any
And
food."
starts calling them dim sum.
Yeah, they calls him
Hey,
dim
dim
dim sum and dim sum. Yes. Yeah, and so then that's when they get in a fight in the stairwell, because that's when he's coming down. He's like, I know a few moves too. He whoops them all. Uses zip ties, like hog ties some of the guys. Just real like just deep,
Real slapstick
It's
comedy
really-
kung fu there.
yeah,
Really whoops his ass. Whoops their ass.
yeah.
Oh, I
'cause-
get
and then-
yeah, because to Ken's point, this actually leads to why he wants to whip the shit out of him at the football game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is why all of them want to get their payback.
Because then it
And
becomes
so-
hey, isn't that guy that beat our ass? No, he beat my ass. What are you talking about?
he
he
didn't beat my ass.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
beat your
It was
ass,
just
not
true.
my
He
ass.
didn't. He just beat up everybody else and ran and left. There, but I forget like what the interim is, because at one point, I guess that's there is those other moments, and then they come back to these like, oh, hey, I really need to know my brother, because he goes back and he finds a cane and he finds the list of locations at some point in there
Mhm.
too, and he's like, what's all this about?
Oh, that's right.
And-
Underneath the coke was the piece
Yeah,
of
underneath
paper
the
that
coke.
rolled in.
The top
gonna
of the
roll-
cane opens up, and there is some cocaine in there.
Cocaine.
And then after that, he looks under the cocaine, and there are the locations of just businesses listed around Oakland. It turns out those might be the businesses that were being targeted and attacked when they wouldn't sell their property.
Yes.
Yes.
Fast forward to the football game now.
Yeah, so
Good.
then we get to the football game where Han Akbar catches up with Trish when she's hanging out with the kids.
Dim
eating
sum.
ice cream. Dim sum catches up and is just asking if she had a chance to talk to Colin. Colin's not dead at this point, so she could still talk to him. still alive at that time.
Yes.
Mac sees that she is talking to Han while they are playing football, and then of course Maurice's gang pipes up, "Hey, that's the guy that kicked our ass!" And Maurice didn't get his ass kicked. They're all liars and thieves. That's what Maurice says. And then Mac invites him.
He equates, oh, because you know kung fu and you beat us at that.
Yeah.
We know football and we'll beat you at that somehow.
Yeah. So it becomes the NFL in the 1970s. They start every time they in the beginning, every time Han touches the ball, they just whoop the shit out of him. Like a lot of clotheslines and stuff, a lot of trash talking. So then Han decides that's cool. So he tosses in the ball, and then they get a little action sequence where he's kicking him in the face and beating him up. And then does a lot of spin to the football at the end.
Bruce, what are your thoughts on these moves in the football scene?
Was this
legal
realistic?
or illegal?
Unnecessary roughness? Is that what you're making a reference to?
I love that movie.
Moving on.
It's a great movie.
This guy.
What?
That at some point.
Felt necessary to me.
Yeah, a little bit of Espen it's too much of Espen going down in that game.
Just a little too fist fight.
Yeah.
The game is hitting, okay? That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not getting CTE. Why are you even playing?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, guys. I'm having 1 second.
But forget the name of the style that they're using, but it's is this movie coming out after Crouching Tiger? Because they use a similar like.
Oh, I mean, now it's called like wuxia, I believe is the term. It is
the name of the style.
Wire work. Yeah,
because they use that during the game.
Someone feel free to correct us. Go ahead and comment down in the comment section on YouTube, please. Let us know how we can improve. Yeah,
but they do use a similar style during the football scene, which is kind of really felt out of place. But I don't know, maybe it's the juxtaposition between like the way that Maurice and his crew were playing football versus the elegant style of ass whooping that was incorporated in this version of football with Jet Li as well. Who knows? Maybe that was done on purpose, but there was definitely took me out of that scene for a little bit when I'm like, okay, he's just like spinning on top of their heads and shit.
I mean, there was also the wire work at the very first fight with Russell Wong and stuff, whooping ass, and in the beginning he had still felt too.
Well, because I felt like that was a fight though. That was like meant to be done for both parties. It was only being done for one party in this one.
I mean, I don't think it
was like Anthony Anderson was doing any wire work in his like tackling.
That's fair. I think just
I guess
the victims in the club definitely had some wire work. Like they got kicked across the room, and they had some wire work done. But
I believe one guy actually does hold up Jet Li to get clothesline, so I take that back.
Yeah.
Pat, what else you got?
Technical issue. Ken, jump in, please.
Okay.
So he kicks their ass in the football game. He
kicks their ass in the football game.
High fives
like,
Aaliyah.
American football.
That's right.
He goes back to Aaliyah, and this is where Aaliyah's gonna. She's like, oh, I'll talk to my brother, and he's like, okay, cool. Takes his ice cream and gets out of there. And all the kids, like we also talked about the kids. There's like, I
forgot about that. That's right. Yeah,
have the little one. Like, I'm like, okay, this is just like a little bit of business for her to have because she's part of the community as opposed to her father who is bringing it down. At least in her eyes, she's trying to uplift the community and do things with a rec center, I'm sure, somewhere. Like that's
no. Sadly enough, this is the mobster move. She's the Ivanka to his Donald Trumpism. Like she's the face.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't want to put that on her. Okay, she's like
saying,
this is
what
like
do.
She's
either
trying
she wittingly or
to
unwittingly is a part of it. She may think she's being independent, but he's like, that's perfect. You you defy me. You spit in my face. You make yourself look legit because that makes me look legit. Keep doing it.
Yeah, fair enough. But let's not. You're putting too much positive spin on Ivanka, and that's my problem. Like Ivanka's a monster too. Wait,
fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Like,
you're right.
At least
I'm just saying it's a monster like
trying. Yes. Yeah, it is a monster.
Right. Okay.
Ivanka's just right in there, just like with the guns, taking the money. Like she's not at all.
But she's smiling while she does it.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. So I think from there, after she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll talk to my brother." I think right around there is when we cut to. There is a meeting between. I mean, we missed a couple of the meetings between Isaac and his son Colin, who's played by DB Woodside, mm-hmm. And I know him as Robin from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in that show, and that's where I know him from. Like that's where my brain goes to. But I think like you see him going to meet his dad, and like Mac's there too. He's like, oh hey, Colin Greens, and he's like, oh Mac the knife, Mac something,
Mac and
Mac and
cheese.
I think
cheese.
he
I
got
don't know
Mac the
what he
knife.
calls it. No, it goes Black Mac, I think, which doesn't make any sense. I'm like, that's not a cheese. What's going on here?
I mean, he is black, and his name is Mac.
There
mean,
was
yeah,
a
that's-
white Mac that was cut from the movie.
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, it all comes together.
I mean, I think
Okay.
if you said yellow Mac, it'd have been too much on the nose, though.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, so,
his
there's
most
a few
important
scenes
role.
there of like.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go for it.
His most important role is Wayne Palmer, son of President Palmer in 24. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like Pat's gonna do this whole 7 degrees of 24 in
And?
everything we do.
And
I mean,
you're right.
until we give him a 24 pod, like that's like
Fair enough.
What episode are we on? Like we're like, the 24th episode of some season. We've got to just go for it and do it.
We'll do it.
Otherwise, he's just gonna be like, well, so, there's also this when he was in this. He's
I
also in
remember-
Lucifer. And
Yeah, he's in Lucifer, but I remember him mostly aside from 24 in Private Practice. That's the Grey's Anatomy spinoff, I believe.
okay,
So I remember.
yeah,
that.
his top 4 known by for IMDb is Lucifer, 24, Romeo Must Die, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So we are their 4-quadrant demographic of how we know him is that.
Yes.
it was one of them was going to hit.
Yeah.
We gotta. All right, so he's having a meeting with his dad.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
his
this
dad's
is where
saying,
they
"No, my
meet up
sister's
in the-
done soon. What?
I've got plans for something.
Yeah, this is the mobster part where he's like, I am too tarnished as a mob boss in the community. Your sister is doing her thing. You're going to be that. I'm going to make us legit. The reason why I'm doing this deal is to then pass off this to you. You just have to be patient. And he's like, but Dad, I could do it. I could be both gangster and do what you're trying to do. And he's like, son, you're an idiot.
He kind of basically is trying to get out of the life so that his son can live.
And his son wants to get into the life because he's
Yeah.
never had a hard work day. So,
and because that's just
Yeah.
how
Again, nepotism.
that's how nepotism and gangster movies work.
yes. And is that when we get to later on that night?
Yeah, I think that's when
there-
he
I think-
goes. He takes a short flight.
He tries to fly without wings.
Yeah, can you fly, Bobby?
I mean, there's a quick. I mean, is this? I'm trying to remember when do we go from Trish and Han. When did they first go to the location and start to do some research? Is that after her brother passes away or before?
Isn't it?
It's
I think it's before because when her brother passes away is when she gets put under protection.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
so I think,
she gets real like yeah.
yeah, we get
Okay, so then-
minor CSI investigation with Trish and Han.
And they that's where
So
we're
wait,
also
is this
missing.
the motorcycle fight scene?
No,
Is
I
before
think
the murder.
I've got it. Actually, I think I've got it. The scene that happens is we see a scene where Kai shows up to a boat and it's full of drugs, and they're like, "All right, let's get we gotta protect you guys because something's gonna happen." And they're like, "What's gonna happen?" This bang, and they grab the guns and the drugs. They set bombs and they blow up a boat, which in my head questions because I'm like, it's just a boat. You can just move it. Like it's not a building that's stuck there. Also, do you need the deed to the boat? Because what? Why? Like, and it's they end up playing it off as like, oh, at some point the other overlords are going to find out about this, and it's a whole bunch of nonsense of like, well, yeah, they are. And you didn't need to blow up the boat. Just move the
Oh,
boat.
you did, Ken. It's a statement piece. You blow up the boat.
Yeah,
anybody
exactly.
Anybody else who wants to dock and live there is like, oh, we can't. Someone just got murdered. Someone blew up here.
Yeah,
Well, there's
that's
no
not part
pier
of the
there.
blow up boat.
You blew
I'm
up
not
the
going to
pier.
go
What's
there.
up? You blew up the
Yeah,
dock.
but now the pier is yours. It's empty. Everyone left.
Yeah.
They got scared like roaches.
Yep.
Because you had to
Blew the
murder a
boat.
fool. You had to blow up a boat.
Exactly.
How else are you going to get them to leave, Pat? You tell me, huh, businessman? How are you going to get them to leave?
Money.
Exactly.
had
You got no
They had-
ideas.
They had money. They had
You know what's
drugs. They
cheaper?
don't need
You know what's cheaper
here.
than money? Explosives.
Is it? I don't know how expensive are explosives.
Very.
Less than paying off everyone to leave.
All right, fair enough. Blow them up. All right.
And again,
You gotta
how
let
much
us
more
say.
fun is it to
All right.
vote? Yeah, how much more fun is to vote a boat than to pay people like, all right, here's your money, please leave. You got 30
Yeah.
days. That's lame.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pull
They
them
didn't
up
have
and watch
30
them all
days.
leave.
This deal
Well,
was
if
on
you-
the table. They needed
if
to
you-
move.
If you're
The
paying them,
day.
come on. There's going to be contracts and shit. It's dumb.
It's true. A lot of
Blow
lawyers.
people up. And you can just go tell
So-
the cops, like, hey, it's been one of, maybe it's kerosene tank, something like that. Like, hey, who knows? There's no paper trail with
What are
the
all these
explosives.
bullets here for, though?
Speed.
They're speed holes. Those are speed holes.
Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
So
Bullets
then
goes faster when they have
Wrap it
holes
up.
in them.
Yeah.
Have you seen Titanic?
Yep. From there,
Biggest
I think
hole.
we cut to Colin and his girl talking, and he's high off his ass, and he's like, "I've got so many ideas. Like I am an idea."
I'm smart.
And then she goes to answer the door because someone knocks, and then
Oops.
they learn if they can
Both of
fly.
them.
They can't.
Both of them out the window.
Once again,
Yeah.
can you fly, Bobby? No.
He couldn't. He couldn't, by
Can't.
the way. Hit the ground running.
Yep.
Sometimes things go bad.
And as we
There you
said
go.
earlier, Aaliyah shows up. We went over that scene. Now,
Yeah.
Now do we get to the car chase / bike
Yeah.
fight scene?
I think this is. So
Dance
this is
choreography?
where, yeah, she goes and she goes back to Poe's house, which is where Han is living, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my mom and me and my brother played a trick on my mom, and we made her sad, and now
That's
I
right.
get it. This is why she was so sad." And she's like, she hasn't fully entered the top level protection, and so that's where they decide okay, let's go ahead and I got this list of places. Let's go and find out what it is. That's when they go to the chop shop.
Yes.
And they're looking around like, oh, there's a lot of dead people here. Let's just keep looking around because that's what you do.
A lot of
And-
corpses. Keep going, though.
Yeah, a lot of corpses. The thing, and then as they're going out the side, cars start pulling away, and then 2 motorcycles come to. Like, wait, there's still somebody alive. Let's go back and kill him. Bang, 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 bang,
right.
bang, bang.
As one
Just like
does.
that.
Yeah, like you do.
Now, these are the imported Chinese assassins, correct?
We don't know yet because
They're not
they've got
local.
to chase him down. And this is the part that gets me too. Is they got to chase him down because they're wearing helmets. We don't know who they are. That could be the black gang. It could be the Chinese gang. We don't know. We got to go and find them. So we end up chasing them down. The 2 motorcycles start chasing us down because they run out of there in a car and stuff. And at one point they knock one of the motorcyclists off because they're doing all kind of car stuff and they fall off. And I'm like, if you just go over and grab that dude who got knocked off, you can just find out who it is right there. Instead,
They're being
they
chased, Ken.
Yeah, I know. They enter a chicken fight with the one who's still alive, and I'm like, just he's right there. Just go get him, the one on the floor. And they get in a chicken fight, and they finally get to them. And this is where we get a fight where Han will not hit a woman.
We get a
because
gentleman in the
they-
room.
That's
They
right.
start fighting, and
Because I would
helmet
slap
comes
the
off,
bitch.
and it's a woman, and I think it's the woman who was in with Poe at the very beginning of the movie, but I might be racist, and I'm not sure. So, but I, thought
two
it
things
was
could
her.
be true.
So Ken said racist things and thinks all
Yeah.
women all Chinese women in this movie look the same. But yeah, Han uses Trish as a weapon since he can't punch her. He just uses her fist to punch her, which is really embarrassing for the other girl because she's supposed to know how to fight, and she got her ass kicked by someone basically being marionetted.
Yes.
Like it's
true.
embarrassing, and
That's how much more impressive Han is,
I mean,
apparently.
frankly, that should probably end her career if she didn't die at the end.
I think she just gets beat up. Or does she die?
And we didn't even talk about, because that's the second time we get the Mortal Kombat style skeleton inside someone. I'm gonna break their arm, skeleton inside.
Oh,
no!
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
They do the X-ray. The
Yeah, the
X-ray
X-ray.
in. This is how the bone breaks. Which then later on, I think Mortal Kombat 11. That's literally the entire game. It's just watching X-rays of broken
Yes,
bones.
it was Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat, but that's the thing that I would see later on. I'm like, oh, the 2 wires would connect finally.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of early 2000s action stuff. It really finds a home here. You see a lot of the proto versions of that. But she she gets beaten up with Trish's fist via Han's moves, and then I believe at that point, where are we at now? I've lost it. Once again,
So after that,
technical
I think he
difficulties.
goes back. I think Trish goes home maybe to see her dad or something, and then Han goes to
I think
confront
to
his
confront
father.
dad.
Yeah, Han
I
goes
think
to
they both
confront his
go to
father. He's like,
confront,
hey,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and at some point in there too, there was a time where when Han first shows up, he and Kai are like, I knew you'd show up
Practicing.
because at the funeral, he's like, oh, I knew you'd show up, and they do a little fight and stuff, and Han's like, he's like, I thought you would have got soft in prison. He's like, no, you don't get soft in prison, and he shows the glasses because he's like, Kai, you moron, I have your glasses.
Yeah. They were friendly,
they have
at least at the beginning.
Yeah, they have a little bit more of that kind of tete-a-tete, like, sidestepping each other. Like, you're supposed to be protecting the family and who's doing what here. But yeah, so Han kind of accuses his father, like, hey, like, someone, like, this entire place was killed, and it was Chinese. He's like, oh, no, it couldn't be one of the overlords. They wouldn't do this.
No, it was probably Isaac hiring contractors. Yeah, that's the
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He's like, no, he got another. He imported his own. Why not?
Yeah. He went down to Southern California, got Chinatown to come up.
I believe, is this the point then where that Trish is under basically house arrest from her father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in there playing Madden.
Was there another inciting incident like
These
after
nuts in
the
your
barbershop?
mouth.
There it is.
Put them in your mouth.
Let's get to the important part where Anthony Anderson is playing Madden and screaming.
Hey man, he's got to earn that paycheck. Don't hate the man.
He almost lost the game because he was too busy celebrating, and they almost caught up behind him and flanked and caught his ass. So
yeah,
that's why you spam the X button. You don't celebrate till you're in the end zone.
Hey, but when you got a line that sweet, don't you?
That's fair. Well, I think the fact he could pick up like mixed nuts and throw them in his mouth as he said it.
It was awesome.
Sorry, I wanted to get to the most important part of the film.
That wasn't
fair
it?
enough.
That was
that's the highlight.
Okay. Credits.
I don't know, some stuff happens after.
Wait, credits?
Resolution.
Dust yourself.
Well, does Han show up again to whoop his ass?
What's up?
Does Han show up again and whoop his ass to break Trish out?
No, when she goes up, like, she shows up to the house, goes up to her room, and it's like, also, by the way, like, from a set design aspect, like, she goes from her apartment to this. It's like, really, they could have been the same place, and I would have never known. Like, there was like the set, like, okay, why? Because it's like,
hey, she likes to decorate a certain way. She's got a certain feng shui that she puts everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing too. So Han shows up on the side of her balcony, and like, so the framing is like they come in through the door here. There's an open door over here. That's where Han comes from. Later on, when she leaves, it's Anthony Anderson is like, oh no, Trish ran out, and looks at another door. She has multiple entrances to this room. Like, she could have, like, oh no, she got out. Like, no shit, Sherlock. There's so many ways to get in and out of this place.
That's the best part. Is like, for security reasons, you think you'd put her somewhere that only had one entrance and one exit,
right? Like what are you doing? Like, this is. But clearly, he was busy playing video games and eating pizza, which is fair.
That's the other
thing too.
Nuts.
A 22-year-old man. That is like literally.
Yeah.
With a game console nearby.
That's the funny thing too. Like, there's so little time delineation. Like, you don't know what's going on, and like Delroy comes back in a few times. Like, oh, you sure you're okay? They're gonna order pizza downstairs. I'll send somebody. She's like, okay, I'm fine. Because Han's trying to hide in certain spots throughout the story. But like, the moment like her dad closes the door, it cuts to Anthony Anderson coming up the stairs with pizza, and I'm like, they just ran at that moment, or what's the delineation on them leaving, and like what happened? But yeah, it was.
They live above a pizza parlor.
Yeah, questionable editing. I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, let me know it's been in half an hour.
Hey, do you want to see broken bones or not? We don't have time to show you pizza, but we have time to show you CGI broken bones. Which one do you want, Ken? Which one?
CGI broken bones.
Exactly.
I said it all right.
Couldn't he get CGI broken bones while delivering pizza?
Did Anderson roll his ankle coming up the stairs with the pizza?
Get yourself a movie that can do both. Just saying.
Just a random like.
I want that now. Like, that's a good scene where he's like, "Oh, my ankle!"
Crack. Or just like twist his hip wrong and limps like
Oh no, we gotta see the break. We gotta see the break.
Yeah,
paid all that money for the CGI.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That could have taken him out of the movie.
These nuts in your mouth.
Perfect. right, so she leaves protective custody, and now she's with Han, and their goal is to what again?
Go to Silk's club because I think it was the last one on
Yeah.
the list. Silk.
That
That's
was
right.
yeah.
And
Hey.
he ain't selling.
Who plays
Yeah.
Silk? Who plays Silk, guys?
One Dark Man X.
Is that what it stands for?
Yes.
I did not know that. Like I knew I have certain things. I have a little bit of like knowledge and street cred, but like I didn't know it stands for Dark Man X.
Yeah. DMX himself is playing Silk.
And this will lead.
And what does Silk have that everybody wants, Pat?
Well, he's got that club.
Yes. Which is the last thing that's left on to complete the seafront trifecta that they want in order to put the stadium there.
The last piece of land to get Al Davis's team a new stadium. This is it.
Not the very last, because we also have a moment where Mac is threatening a crabber, and he's like, "Oh no, just like why don't you sell to me? You got to sell to me." And he's like, "I'm not going to do that. This is my family's money." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "I'm going to shoot you and feed you to these crabs." He's like, "No,
that's
not
right.
Crabs.
Forgot about that.
And he's like shuffling them in with a gun.
And the guy's like,
finally,
no.
And then the guy finally walks away to get the deed. I'm like, just run. Like, again, he'll find you and kill you. So don't do that.
Yes.
But like, he just stands there. He says something like smart aleck retort. And I'm like, is he inside? Can he hear you? Or okay, all right, that's fine. I mean, you get what you need.
What'd you just
so
say? Nothing.
Nothing, mind you.
You're a jackass. What?
So this is when
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Then we jump to the club, and Trish and Han are meeting with DMX or Silk. I'm sorry, Silk.
Well, they're not meeting. They want to meet with him, and the only way they can do it is by dancing with each other. So he goes, "What's going on?"
That's right.
And calls him up,
and she like gives him her hat so he gets a b-boy style.
Yeah,
I was like, now you look like a b-boy. I'm like, yes, this is what's going on in this film. I'm looking.
Yes.
So
it was it was just a baseball cap. It wasn't like a bucket hat like the inimitable Bruce here.
like a sweet.
He's not looking that good.
Bucket hat.
Not looking that clean.
Amazing.
Well, because he's wearing like basic khakis, a shirt, and a flat bomber's jacket. Like
he's a cop, man.
Exactly.
He is a cop. Oh no.
So he stands out like a sore thumb. So DMX is like, call those two punks up. What the hell's going on here?
The buster got me in
an Asian guy with a black girl in my club? Hell no.
I now want Jet Li in the next Fast movie. Oh God, that needs to happen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not? Who's to say he's not?
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I want him in the next one.
We lost one Han. We can get another one back.
Oh God, dang it!
Anara.
We could have two Hans. Double the Han.
That was
I didn't think about that.
That was a Con Air callback for those that are not in the know.
Yeah,
so you're welcome.
Let's see if Delroy Lindo crosses. What's his name again? Nicolas Cage.
I mean, they got to steal some cars.
We got them at the club.
They got to. This is.
They're in his office, right?
Yes.
They can all kind of like. We can meet them all together.
It's multi-universe. Yeah, it's multiverse.
Yeah.
We get the DMX. I'm not selling, no matter what. You can't make me sell. I don't care what anybody says. And then I believe, is it
Mac shows up?
Yeah, Mac comes in and says, "No, is it Kai or Mac?"
Mac. It's Mac. So because they do their thing, they dance on the floor. They're like they make everybody jealous, and Silk's like, "Get her up here because I can't have her on the floor."
Yeah,
she's embarrassing me
with a guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, embarrass me.
So and then Mac shows up and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna sell." He's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna sell." And he's like, "Yeah, you are. I'm just gonna sign it for you."
and then they just shoot each other.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. There's a weird thing. Like he shoots the glass next to him, and then he's like, DMX like kind of like, "Oh no!" And then he just shoots him like directly. I'm like, "Why'd you waste the bullet? Like what?"
Because he's got bad aim.
No one said
Mac is a good shooter.
Fair enough. Yeah. And then they like you kind of see them push Han because it's supposed to be like that they cold cock him and knock him out, but it's just kind of like
he
did get soft in prison
of a WWE referee and gets slightly bumped on the head, just kind of falls over.
He's used to doling out the punishment, not taking it back.
That's true.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right. So now that he's out, when does he wake up again?
He wakes up at like the mill or wherever they are,
like the docks. I assume everything's happening at the.
That wasn't the hangar, was it? From.
Oh no, maybe Maybe it was the dock, so it's like the crabber place. So that's why because there's like
because they have the
generic
deed now.
machinery around. Yeah.
Okay.
Like robot crabs, I assume.
It'd be fucked up if that guy was like in a kid, like they knocked over a barrel and that guy came rolling out. Like, oh, we still fed him to the crabs.
Yeah, we still fed the crabs. Mac has no patience. He just said, "Fuck that guy."
I believe
time for this shit.
This is where we get the last fight scene between Han and Maurice and his crew. Yes.
And moron.
Hey, some you win.
And dim sum.
And dim sum you lose. The lines in this movie alone will stay with me till the day I die. Just
yeah.
Han escapes and whoops their ass. I mean, that's the long and short of it. It doesn't go well for him.
Yeah, but isn't this when he runs into Kai though, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?"
I believe so because
no.
Yeah,
no. That's the after from this point on, they don't go back to Kai and Papa Singh until the very end.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a bit of discussion about, like when Mac showed up at Silk's place, he's like, "Oh yeah, me and Kai had an understanding. We each handled our own business." And they because like, oh, that's when you learned like, oh no, Kai is the one who killed Poe. That's when you get that info. But at this point, yeah, it's basically just Han fighting all the dudes with Maurice.
Not yet. We got the big meeting. We're the big bad villain of the whole.
Right. This we're still at the point with Han and Maurice at the docks.
Okay.
Well, no, we don't. The big bad villain shows up at a golf course. Speaking of which, take a time out for a second because we just have Bruce sitting here for 30 minutes silent. Bruce, jump in at any moment. Talk about something you like about the movie. Real quick.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I just remember the line. Everything you guys are going through is like I'm actually enjoying the movie right now.
Okay.
I'm remembering everything as you guys are speaking right now. I forgot about the broken bones and the x-rays and all that stuff. Thank you.
I mean, first, some you win, dim some you lose.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Let our guests remember that you're still on the mic. You're here with us. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up, and then we'll get some more from Bruce.
So the fight goes on, and there's a lot more.
We gotta talk about the golf course because that's when we fill up. That's when we find out about the full deal, the expansion.
Oh, right. They
have the meeting with the NFL in broad daylight.
Well, not with the NFL. Just the one sucker who's just having them do all his dirty work basically, and getting all the deeds and getting all the money. The deal is not at all to be part of the NFL. It's just to be like, hey, get us the money, get us the land, so I'll pay you for all this land.
The deal was supposed to be that,
and then
the white guy who screws both minorities.
We'll get there.
Because we're getting to the big
crux of it. Yeah,
the big set piece where for some reason they want to do this turnover in like the evening in a high, as opposed to like just an NFL boardroom. This is what happens when it's Paul Tagliabue, not Roger Goodell right here. This is Roger Goodell never would have suffered this.
Well, so I feel like Roger Goodell would have done the deal in Silk's club.
Yeah, definitely would.
Tagliabue was like, "Oh, wait until the morning and do it at the golf course," and everything goes haywire by then.
So
this motherfucker.
When the NFL representative, what is his name? I want this man's name. Who is
again? He's not. I don't think
Shady
he's an
McWhite
NFL
guy.
Representative. Yeah, Shady McWhite guy.
Yeah,
he's a representative.
He's the guy.
He's the one brokering the deal with the NFL to set things up.
He's part of the NFL. He's telling them, if you give me the land, we can get the team here.
I disagree. He's not part of the NFL. He's trying to buy his way into the NFL with this land deal. Yeah.
No, he's already part of the NFL. That's why Delroy Lindo think.
You're telling me Vince Roth is part of the NFL?
You tell me the name Vince Roth isn't like an NFL name?
I think that he's just a land deal guy, and he's just trying to he's having them get the things. We can go back and watch the movie right now. Okay, we can do that right now.
Okay,
we're gonna have to.
In any event, it's funnier if it's the NFL. So I'm just gonna go with that for.
Here we go again. We're reenacting the movie.
Yes,
a white guy and an Asian guy fighting with the white guy. With the Asian guy and a black guy fighting while the white guy's like, "All right, guys, calm down.
Calm down.
Give me the
I'm
land.
Gonna screw you both
Give
over.
me the land.
Don't worry about it." In this scenario,
I'm sure Bruce, I'll give you a good deal.
Bruce, you are now Mac, so you have to do a betrayal as well. I believe during the deal, so it's Isaac, Chu, and Roth meeting, and this is where Isaac takes his Chu takes his multi-million part of the deal. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chu leaves first. Like he's
He
like,
gets paid.
like they're showing up there, and Chu's already out. He's like, I got my
Right.
paycheck. I'm out.
I'm good.
Everyone have a good day. I'm done here. I took my
Isaac,
payday and I'm gone. Oh, we also had a moment too where they cut up some triad dudes in the back of a meat wagon, and just to get their deeds too. Like we had a quick moment of that because it's just like he's like, yeah, I'm just screwing over everybody in the triad to get these land deals and whatnot, and I'm gonna go ahead and get bank, and all y'all gonna have to deal with that. There's also that part too.
this is then when Isaac
Yeah.
reveals that, oh, I'm not selling you the land. You can have it as long as I'm part owner of the NFL team, just like J-Lo.
Yep. Wait, what?
That's right.
So Mac
that a
is
thing?
not. Mac is J-Lo is a minority owner of the Miami Dolphins.
Wow, they really got to call her a minority owner. That's messed up. I can't
She
believe they
owns
put that
under
in the
50%
title.
of the team.
Just spelling it out
Oh, not okay. That makes more
for
sense.
you.
now.
That as well, though. That as well.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but also
I think they still call her that behind closed doors. I think that
Yes.
the NFL guys, like whoever the Cowboys one it was at like some of the wrong rallies. I think he probably still uses that term incorrectly.
he does not use that polite of a term.
No.
Jerry Jones is not that polite.
Jerry, that's the person who's bad.
So
He's very bad. He's very bad.
so Mac freaks out when this happens because he wants to get paid, and I believe this is also where he reveals that oh, sorry, I guess Colin couldn't fly or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was revealed that Mac was the one kind of being part of the muscle in all this and moving things on the back end, and then takes Trish hostage, I believe.
Yep.
Which it's really unclear because they're just kind of like, oh, your brother was going to sink the deal. How was the brother? How were either of the brothers going to sink the deal? There was this weird
They're
moment.
fucking idiots.
Right, I get that, but there's a point in the story where it's like, oh, Poe was trying to meet up with Colin.
Let's put it this way. They believe that because they're hotheads, they would have expedited the war between the two factions instead of saying like, all right, we're gonna have a simmering hate for each other, but still make the deal go through and not have gunshed and bloodshed and bring cops into the scene. These two idiots would have gone to war with it.
They blew shit up everywhere. They blew up barbershops. They blew up boats.
Hey, did you see any cops anywhere though?
Crabbers?
Did you see any cops anywhere?
I saw no cops.
Exactly.
That's fair.
So
when you start with
Oakland, baby.
yeah, exactly.
Mac worked with Chu on the back end to help those businesses that were making the wrong decision make the right decision and get eaten by crabs.
Well, and I think he also gives the revelation to Isaac that, hey, you're an idiot. Like, they're never going to accept us. I just wanted the money. You thought you were going to like make a name for yourself and start this whole prosperous thing. They weren't going to accept us. So just take the damn money. You threw away $30 million, you idiot.
Once again,
go ahead. It's interesting too because at that point, Chu already took the money and left. Like, there was no he wasn't gonna try and they weren't like he didn't talk to Chu and like, hey, let's go into legit together. Let's strong arm this guy. He's like, hey,
but Chu realized he was like, yeah.
Well,
yeah. Chu's like, I'm not gonna try and like clean this up. We're not gonna church this up. I'm just gonna take my money and go.
But the plan for Isaac's plan actually works better if Chu has already sold half the deeds because now he's committed. Like Roth can't back out. It's like, well, I have to do this because I already have half the land. He's not gonna like
put a stop payment on the
back.
check. Like this isn't 2025 where he can take a scan of the photo of the check with his phone and deposit it. Like Chu's not out in the driveway doing that. So it's like he can stop payment on the check, so he can kind of get out.
Do you want to stop payment on a check to the Chinese triad boss? Do you want to do that?
Who just cashed on their end?
To the power that this man thought he was untouchable, yes, I do. I think he would. He's the same guy who's like, no, go back down for the go back. He's like, the pilot's
okay,
like, no,
let's put it this way.
Noise.
Let's put it this way. Maybe Chu doesn't kill you, but the NFL will. When you come back empty-handed.
Yeah.
Wait, you had half the land and you gave it back because the other guy didn't. Why don't you talk to him? Don't come back empty-handed. This is bullshit. Now we got nowhere to put it.
No, so what you're saying is that he
We
wasn't
gotta go
with
to
the
Kansas.
NFL. You're saying that he wasn't with the NFL because the NFL was telling
No,
him
he's
that.
part of the NFL. He's just a
Interesting.
guy that was.
Oh no, you just told me that the NFL came to him. I don't know. Your story keeps changing, buddy. What's going
He's an
on?
employee of the NFL.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying your story's got holes.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what do you think this guy was doing, Ken? Like he was a broker for the NFL? Because the NFL can do their own deals. They don't need an extra guy who just runs around Oakland saying, "Oh, I got land for you." They
I
would
don't
do
know.
it directly.
Maybe you're not aware of this, but like Upper America, like I was gonna say Middle America, but
I don't
Upper
think the
America
NFL
is
needs a
nothing
real
but
estate
middlemen.
agent.
It's just middlemen. It's
Well,
just
I'm just saying. I don't think the NFL needs a real estate agent.
of real thing.
This
and
isn't
they're
selling
like,
Oakland or whatever those shows are called.
Even if he is the middleman and like trying to buy his way in, he is still like, oh, the NFL is going to come after us if we don't do this the right way. Like,
Buy
he's
his
still,
way
like,
into what though is my
threatening.
point though. What is he trying to buy his way into?
He wants to be an owner, right? He wants to buy a team.
yeah, he wants
No,
to be an owner of a team.
No, that's what Delroy Lindo wants to do. This guy, we don't know what. I mean,
All right,
to the extent that we know what he does, we don't. He never says he wants to be part of the NFL.
I'm going to Wikipedia.
That's why we're assuming he already is part of the NFL. This isn't like he's saying, I'm going to buy the team or put the team here.
Hold on,
He just wants to land.
Before I go into Wikipedia, Bruce.
Yes.
Was Roth, the white guy, the land guy from Romeo Must Die, was he part of the NFL or was he a guy trying to buy his way into the NFL? What do you remember?
I believe he was just part of the NFL, and he's the one that basically, I don't know, told them that they were never going to be a part of any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Dave, the cheddar guy. I'm not talking about Dave. I'm talking about Vincent Roth.
Vincent Roth. Yeah, Vincent Roth is part
cheddar?
of the NFL.
Cheddar, yes.
I can't believe we just went right over that line where he's just like, what's the word they say nowadays? Oh yeah, cheddar. Like, God bless him.
Because again, what is the point of Delroy Lindo interacting with this guy when he could just say, you know what, fuck you, I'm taking my 30 million and my land and going straight to the NFL. I don't need to deal with you. Instead of giving it to this guy saying, I want to be a team owner. Like this guy can't give you a team.
He can let you together an ownership group.
Right.
What's up? Yeah, but what is he though? My point is,
businessman.
But he's nothing without your money and the land that you're about to give him. Why not just go straight to the NFL and say, hey, you know what? Fuck Roth. This is what I'm willing to give whoever's part of this consortium.
All right.
I don't need this guy.
Because he went to school and he's part of the Skull and Bones with the NFL guys. He's not one of the guys them yet, but he's part of the Skull and Bones and part of those upper crusty people who just do deals with each other and make each other money.
Yes, but
that's
again,
why
Delroy Lindo has all the leverage. Is my point. Like this Roth guy is really an annoying extra factor. If he is indeed not part of the NFL.
Well, either way,
he doesn't have all the power. He has some of the power.
Well, he has no power.
Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo has half the power.
Well,
right.
He's still a known gangster.
Vincent has no power,
and so the NFL won't let him buy in. Right?
Yeah, he's got to clean up his name. That's
no, because he's literally that's the entire plot of the movie. He's trying to go straight.
No, he has connections to a store called Sapphire Dragon or something, and it's a very nice clothing store that has kids and they dance in it.
That's in a shitty neighborhood where things get blown up and people are getting ran off the road and people are getting tossed out of windows.
That barber shop was a front for meth.
They literally devalued that neighborhood
that part,
real quickly.
But the old man was selling meth.
Within the span of like a week, that the property values in that area just went straight down.
There is a Boondocks episode about this, if memory serves. We're way off the rails. I just want to point out.
How do we conclude it though? Do you get to say the line, Pat? You got to finish the movie.
No,
sorry, Romeo,
but you got to die. I believe.
Thank you. But why do they say it though? Where are they at? They're on the roof. With the
yes, they're on the roof.
Paperwork
the helicopter
tossed everywhere.
Helicopter is coming down. Isaac O'Day has made his demand. Mac turns on him. Roth grabs the briefcase full of deeds and makes a run for it. There's a struggle between Isaac and Mac. Mac shoots Isaac and then goes chase after Roth. There's a gunfight that ensues, and he shoots
Roth
the
takes
briefcase.
off.
Well, no, he shoots.
Free.
Roth is trying to get to the. No, he doesn't because he's trying to get to the helicopter, and they shoot the briefcase, and the deeds go everywhere, and it's 2,000. So it's not like this is online. These are physical deeds. You need that piece of paper.
Don't forget, there's a point in which like gunfights start, and when he shoots Delroy Lindo, Then also one of the guys has a briefcase machine gun, and he goes boop, and the briefcase falls out, and he pulls up a machine gun. And
That's
he's
right.
like,
The NFL has a machine gun
nah.
case.
Yeah, because that's the power of the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, for clarity, and I will say that this is from Wikipedia, which is user submitted. So who knows if it's 100%. But Vincent
When was it updated?
Roth,
Like 6 minutes ago?
by some guy named Hopak Energy. Vincent Roth is a business magnate who plans to buy an NFL franchise and build a stadium. So he himself plans to.
Okay.
He has not yet bought it. He
All
will
right.
buy
Then
one.
I was wrong.
Not
He
gonna
is yet-
lie, still more fun if it's the NFL. So I'm gonna go with that.
That's fair. Yeah, I wanted the guy to be. There should have been a line there that the guy who does the briefcase gun is an ex NFL linebacker, and that's how he's.
That would be perfect.
That's
Terry
He's
Tate.
like, hey, didn't you play for?
Yeah.
Didn't you play
Terrible
for?
Terry Tate.
Didn't you play for the Washington Sentinels 2 years? Yeah, until I blew out my knee.
And then they sent me to that prison league with Adam Sandler.
I would have been a football player too, but I took an arrow to the knee. Mac has Triss as a hostage. And Mac shoots the briefcase. There's a briefcase machine gun. All hell is breaking loose. Han arrives and confronts Mac. And then Poe confronts Mac about Poe. And that's where Mac reveals, no, it was the Chinese that killed Poe. It wasn't me. That wasn't on my end. And this is where he's, sorry, Romeo, but you got to die. And then Trish
How does
kills
Mac die, though?
Trish.
Trish kills Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's
Okay,
cold ass shit.
That's right.
Or something like that. Like it's real close.
That's
I'm not.
cold ass shit.
What was his quote before he exposed
Did he
himself
fall
as the
through?
guy?
Who,
You
Mac?
remember? What was it? You just got jacked by who in corporate? You don't remember that line?
No, but
I think he's like,
if
you
you're
just
gonna
got
say it,
jacked by Machiavelli in corporate or something like that.
That's what
Oh,
he
that's
said
what
it
it
to
is.
me.
That's what it is. He's like, O'Day Industries, you just got beat by Machiavellian Enterprises. He's like, I'm like, wait, is his name Machiavellian this entire time? We didn't question that.
You wish
We
it
didn't think-
was.
like this. His name is Judas Machiavellian. I don't know if I
That's
should trust that guy.
Wow.
I wonder if it's my number 2.
I
Nothing's gone wrong with this.
have been raising him like a son. Look, I know he loves silver. It's an issue, but we're gonna get over that, okay? It's fine. Meanwhile, the deeds to all of these places are just floating in the wind. Anybody can just pick them out now. I own it now.
Yeah.
This is my home. Got this.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I own this crabbery.
Even with the water states.
I wonder if the guy that had the crabs was like, "Oh, I'll take this back."
Well, no, because he's dead in a barrel of crabs.
That's what
But
we
also,
said. We don't know what happens to him.
We don't like. That's the other thing too. Is like when they come back down from the roof, they don't have the deeds with them. They didn't stop and collect them. They just said, it's fine." I'm like, and also there's the moment too where like Roth is heading to the helicopter and he's like, "Go back down with for the things," and the pilot's like, "No, I'm getting shot. I'm gonna fly away." I appreciate how.
Did you not see that our machine gun, our suitcase machine gun stopped working?
Exactly.
We're out of weapons.
Like, it's time to go.
The pilot was not having it. And
No.
Han and Trish don't care about the deeds. Whatever, man. Just people's lives.
That's like let's handle this. Like that part bothered me just from the type of person who in D&D will loot everybody just to be safe. Like you don't know what they have in there. Like just to be safe, let's get that. Like,
oh, do I have an
I mean, who
adventure
uses
for you?
these now? I mean, no one's gonna run. No one's gonna run to the NFL's not gonna take the area. I told you the value in that neighborhood plummeted in 2 weeks.
This is why the Raiders moved to Las Vegas. This is a 1-to-1, guy. This is direct line.
This is a documentary.
Shenanigans going on in Oakland, trying to get this stadium built. Now we're out of here. We're going to a city that is known for honesty and integrity.
Who was actually in Oakland longer?
And not burying people in the desert instead of the ocean.
Who was actually in Oakland longer? In and out or the Raiders?
Raiders.
The Raiders were? Okay. Huh.
So this sets up. We have now set up the end of the movie where Han must avenge his brother.
Yes.
There's a brief moment where Trisha and Han come back downstairs, and like Delroy Lindo's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I'd say Delroy, but it's Isaac.
Isaac.
And he's like, "Oh, he's shorter than I thought." And like, why are we giving him the business? He just saved everybody. Like, stop that. don't like
It's
mock
to,
the man.
it's to reassure the audience that Isaac isn't going to die.
Yeah,
He's got enough life to be witty
but it's
and
also
accepting.
like
And accepting.
it's also to a little bit see the idea that they're romantically joined, even though
they've only shared a dance, really.
yeah, they shared a dance, and so they have a little chemistry and stuff like that. Like it's and to Leah's point, like that's good acting on both their behalves.
Yeah.
But it's also going to get to the point where later on we have to discuss how the movie wraps up. But I just wanted to mention that there's this kind of like, oh, you know, he's really sweet, blah blah blah, and there's like these little bits of things between them.
Okay, we get it,
And,
Ken. You don't want to see an interracial relationship. Jesus Christ,
all
man.
right.
Move on.
That's the problem with the film. They don't want to let an Asian man kiss somebody. They're upset with it. Like,
There's no way
just
they're
a
gonna
hug.
let him kiss Aaliyah.
I will.
Exactly.
This is the same problem Will Smith ran into with Tia Leone. We'll talk about it
I
Fair
will
enough.
point
That's
out
what-
he is 16 years her senior.
in the movie.
Yeah, I mean in real life.
That's
It
not
is
R.
very-
Kelly.
Wasn't R. Kelly?
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say that is not R. Kelly, Pat.
Yeah, R. Kelly was too.
I'm glad I set that up so you guys could knock them pins over. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
All right,
Wow.
wrap up the movie. Get to the fight scene with the broken bones.
All right. So Han goes to confront Chu and Kai at the compound. Kai admits that he personally killed Poe for interfering in
like,
Chu's
"Fuck your
plan.
brother."
So that means Chu ordered the death of his son. And then we have the sweet fight between
In designer pants. I was very impressed
Yes.
by Kai. Like the guy's dressed to the nines, basically.
Russell Wong is like awesome dude.
Oh, he's stylish. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like Kai because Kai's a bad guy, but I like Russell Wong, so I'm on board.
You're
he
torn.
and Isaiah Washington were very good villains for the movie. They both did a very good job being just like the oily evil.
Manipulative.
Yeah.
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 The fight
He also
happened.
had the slick back hair. Kai did.
It's true. They have the fight.
He looked like an Asian Gavin Newsom.
Well, I'm not going to be able to take that out of my head. Thanks.
See, that's
You're welcome.
welcome to California. Here we are in Oakland,
Yeah.
and
It's. I forget. Does he break his neck? Is that how Han kills Kai? Like
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat's
eventually
his
after
neck?
like they fight, and there's like a he like holds off a brazier full of hot coals. He burns his hands, and then like Kai grabs his hands, like
That was
real
pretty
mean,
cool.
just like
Yeah.
like, oh my hands.
Hey, he takes his advantages where he can.
That reminds me too, because like when he does do that, like Jet Li screams like
Yeah.
in pain.
This is
But
this
it
is
also
this is the
reminded me-
first time we see Jet Li kind of at the losing end of a fight.
Vulnerable.
But also, it reminded me. This reminds me in the very beginning when he's fighting to get out of the jail in the Chinese prison. Like he's fighting all the guys, but then there's one particular guard that screams like a high pitched girl, and it's so funny because you have the other guys like and he's like and it's,
That
in the
guy's
very
from Broadway.
beginning, it's very fun. It's
He was a stand-in.
Yeah.
Jeff, could you stop doing the jazz hands?
Yeah, that was awesome stuff. But yes, there's a good fight there, and then finally with the wire work, Jet Li is in the air and then like kicks his foot down, and
Down and like,
Oh,
like, on the head.
yeah.
It's very
He
much
lands
a
on his
stand-in. Yeah.
and then you see just like a Goomba gets like, and
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
yep. And then he goes to confront his father, which I was like, oh wait, so also we missed, I think we probably missed 1.2 where there's a memory flashback of Poe and Han swimming in the river, like
Mhm.
from something, and they use a
yeah, that could be a
basketball
flashback
as to use a flotation
to
device.
stay afloat.
And
Yeah, they
yeah.
were. Oh, that's because they weren't they like trying to immigrate or whatever? That's kind of how the story was for them. They were like left out of the ocean.
Yeah, but it wasn't like totally clear about all that. It just kind of like implied, like lightly implied. But they do get there. They swim to the mainland and stuff. But like that's later on. They see that he has the ball. That's what he takes to the memorial.
Which is interesting because they only reference Trish and what's his name's relationship, but they keep showing this scene of Poe and his brother over and over, right?
Yeah, they showed a couple times, but it's like they definitely like hammer home like, oh, they're brother and sister, like, or they're brothers and they were really close. And the fact that he had to give up his freedom to let him letting his brother and father escape is what cost him his freedom and sent him to prison. And so the fact that his brother died at the hands of his father is that's so. And I mean that's what we get to the comment is like when he finally confronts his dad, he's like, "So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill me? Like that's gonna just bring more dishonor on the family and on you." Like he's like, "No," and he pushes the gun back to him. He's like, "I'm gonna let you deal with it. That's your responsibility." And Chu decides to take his own way out.
Yeah, he basically he leaves him. Han leaves him for either the triads or the police to deal with, and Chu just offs himself. And
Not the way I thought it was gonna go. What's the name of the old guy from Dragon Ball Z that like gets all buff when he takes his shirt off? I thought that's what we're gonna get. Like,
Master
Roshi.
Master Roshi. Where he's like, you're gonna fight me now, son?
This is how you turn this into a Dragon Ball Z podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so Master Roshi, we decided that he taught the Kamehameha wave to.
Yeah. Kai was just an interim guy. You got to get to the real boss at the very end.
Yeah.
So that's that. Han exits the building with Trish waiting for him. Roll credits, play some Aaliyah. We're on our way.
Yeah, and by the way, he's walking out of the building. Cops go like, "Oh, pardon me, sir. I know you're not a bad guy or nothing. I know there's dead people upstairs somehow.
Yeah,
but we're just gonna let you walk on through." Like, okay. Cops don't stop him. Don't ask him anything. Just kind of mosey out of here and go meet up with Aaliyah.
Akbar doesn't kill anybody.
It just feels like the cops had a conversation like, it's some Chinese stuff. We can't get involved. Just let him go.
Then why did they even show up? What are they going to go upstairs and do?
Tape off
the only suspect. Just walk right past him.
I don't know if you know this, but he just got like a bunch of money. So maybe let's look for that.
No, he doesn't, because nobody has the deeds.
No, Chu got paid.
No, Chu still has the money. So hypothetically, all that money's going to go. I mean, it is. Although, like, does he have a will that names his sons?
I mean, let's be honest.
In prison up until a week ago.
After about a week, he gets extradited back to prison, and the U.S. government seizes that money.
Why would he get extradited? He's not under arrest.
He's a criminal from China.
Nobody knows that.
The Chinese do.
I mean, they're
the
all
Americans
dead now.
don't. He's not arrested. They don't extradite you unless you've committed a crime.
No, if the Chinese say we want our criminal back, the U.S. has to give him back.
But if they don't know where he went, the Chinese could think that he's in Canada. They could think he's in France. They don't know anything. Like he didn't call him and said, "By the way, I'm here in America." Ha ha ha. Like there was no moment. It could have happened off screen. I don't know. Maybe he left a note, going to avenge my brother. I'll be in Oakland. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. Maybe that happened. Maybe there's a deleted scene on the DVD.
Right?
I didn't see
it's them like
so.
looking at a globe trying to figure out where is Oakland? Oh, okay, California. All right, yeah.
So wait. So then here's my question. In order to get access to the money, though, or I mean, put it somewhere. I'm assuming if he doesn't maybe he just puts it under his mattress, I guess, to the apartment he doesn't own because he can't legally get anything in the U.S. How does he register for anything in order to put that money somewhere?
Isaak O'Day is going to pay for his new identity.
Yeah, that's fair.
Would save his daughter like multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's clear too, he didn't even kill Maurice. Like we saw that Maurice was alive at the end. So like even all the stuff he did, and Trish killed Max. So like he's like, technically speaking, you didn't even hurt any of my guys. Like I mean, you hurt them, but you didn't kill them. You
didn't save Silk though, and I love Silk's club.
That's Mac. That was on Mac. Mac's the one who shot Silk.
Fair enough.
The only person he killed is.
Bruce, do you think he lives happily ever after? No, not Kai's. Kai's dead. He's held.
Yeah, but no. To Pat's point, the only person that we see Han kill is Kai.
Yeah,
who's the person who killed his brother. So he's like, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah.
Does he live happily ever after? I mean, I don't know, probably.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to dust himself off and try again.
Oh God,
it's been a long time.
Shouldn't have left you.
Without a dope
without a hot beat to step to.
Step two.
Go. Good night, everybody.
Now we did it.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on the movie, Bruce? I want to get Bruce talking before we head out. We're wrapping up with letting Bruce talk about the movie for a minute, or Delroy Lindo in general. We need to see our next movie with the guy.
All right. So, in regards to the movie, I definitely got to watch it again. I hearing you guys talk about it, it seemed a lot more amusing than I remember watching it. I think it was high school when that movie came out, or the end of senior year, freshman
Nah, it
year
was our
in college.
freshman year in college.
Freshman year.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was a blur. I probably saw that movie only one time, but now
I
that
think we saw it a couple times, but it's
did
also
I?
25 years old. So
Yeah.
Okay, this was like an early DVD buy. Like this
Yeah.
is like when, like this was
I don't know
maybe
because
even
Bruce was
HD
working at the
DVD.
movie theater when we were in college. So he
Yeah.
was probably
Okay.
giving us
Got it.
tickets to go see it.
But Bruce
Yes.
is also loved DVDs more than anyone, Bruce.
Yeah, but I
You
like
love
that
it more than anybody.
soundtrack more than
Bruce
the
also back
movie.
when okay.
Yeah, I listened to the soundtrack more than the movie, so I
Everyone does.
definitely got to go
Everyone.
back and watch the movie again. But yeah, I mean, it sounded pretty
I gotta
awesome. I'm
remember
gonna have to
what was
rewatch
DMX's
it.
song on this track because I feel like he had a song, but it wasn't very, as popular as Aaliyah's.
Who did?
DMX, he had to have had a song.
He did one with Aaliyah, "Back in One Piece."
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah. So, but other than that, it was there's probably like maybe 4 or 5 good songs on there, and other than that, just the movie was I thought the movie was absolute slapstick. I guess I loved it though.
That's
The one time that I saw it, but
Fair enough.
yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
What'd you think of Isaac's performance?
of Delroy's performance as
Yeah.
Isaac O'Day.
As
You know what? It's always solid as usual. He's got the stern look. Not to be messed with kind of guy.
because
Definitely.
he does have a sort of breakdown moment when he's talking to Aaliyah about his son, or whatever, and you get to see him be a bit vulnerable in that, and I think he brings a little bit of gravitas to that scene.
He
Uh-huh.
is frankly too good an actor to be in the movie. Not that it's a
Yes,
bad movie. Enjoy the movie, but he
Thank you.
is like, oh, you're a real actor.
Yeah.
You've got to carry this pop star.
She did pretty
She
dang
did
well
all right.
for
No,
herself.
she did.
Let's be honest.
but-
Like this is her
For
film.
what she was asked,
film. Yeah, she did a pretty admirable job for her
Let's
first
be honest.
film. Like
the weakest actor in the movie's got to be Jet Li.
Yeah, he was very awkward, especially the dance
Because
scene.
English isn't
he's
his first
also-
language. This is his. He's not
Yeah.
used to these type of movies. I'm not saying it as a bad thing. Like I'm saying if we're gonna rate the acting throughout, we say Delroy Lindo's at the top. I say guy who played Mac is probably somewhere somewhere below him, but not too far. I think he does
Isaiah
a great
Washington.
job. Isaiah Washington, correct.
Can I put this out there then, just so we kind of set the bar at a proper level? Let's compare. So since this is his first leading role, you can compare his acting to, let's say, another foreigner's first lead role of Conan the Barbarian versus this. Like, you know what? Jet Li did it.
I mean,
Of
different
Mr.
type of movies, though. Unfortunately,
Which
But
Conan?
still, like-
Arnold?
yeah.
Arnold.
Oh, okay.
Arnold. And it's like Arnold's vocabulary has grown too. So it's like to say like, okay, this is his first film where
But
he's the lead.
it's in the title,
it's
the
like-
barbarian. Like he's not asked to do very much other than swing a sword, and he
But
does
that's
that
my
pretty
point,
well in the
though.
movie.
You couldn't even you're expecting more out of Jet Li than you are Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think that's unjust.
No,
I think you should-
I am not. I think you framed the argument wrong. I'm saying out of all of the actors in this movie, he was the weakest one. I'm not saying out of foreign actors, just in this movie, and Aaliyah's above him.
I will point out it's not Jet Li's first movie.
No, Lethal
He'd
Weapon.
done- No, I mean, but before
Yeah,
Lethal Weapon,
like
he had
once from
starred
over.
in a whole mess of films.
Yeah.
Right, but we're speaking to. I mean, also, but sorry, what's his face? His first leading role for Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had someone else dubbed over him. So I'm saying, like, delivering lines and trying to speak in a foreign language is hard for you in your first couple of films, I would imagine.
Oh,
And so you're setting the bar higher. I feel like you're setting the bar higher when compared to someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who just got like, oh, let's make a barbarian. That's fine.
But
Just
that's
do
what I'm
your
saying.
thing.
But I'm saying I didn't do that. You did that. I said it out of all the actors in this movie. I'm comparing them to actors in this movie. That's it. Not actors, foreign actors, just actors in this movie. And I'm saying all the actors in this movie are good.
I'm going to say
He is the
Colin.
he's
Should have
the
said
worst one out of
Jackie
all-
Chan.
No,
Maybe he meant
I'm
to
not
say
trying
Jackie.
I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to say that this movie had a lot of good actors in it. he's the weakest one, and he still delivers a decent performance. That's all I was trying to say.
Well,
Like,
no, he's not. DMX is the weakest actor. No offense, DMX, but
okay,
he was
I can see that
He
too.
played
Although
himself.
he was entertaining, he was definitely entertaining in it.
entertaining.
like
does
from
not
the
mean
first
good.
scene where
Yeah.
he's
enough.
they're like, I forget what he says, like something like guns don't kill people, people kill people. Really? This is your first chance to say something, and you're gonna
His
open with
name
that.
was
Somebody
second to
wrote
Joe
that
when he's
for
not
him.
DMX.
I highly
I'm
doubt he would
I'm
have said
adjusting.
that.
Regardless, like this is now the barometer by which you're measuring.
I think we need to
Jet
go
Li
back
did
and
their job
read
with
up on this
DMX.
and be like, oh, DMX improvised that whole line.
Yeah.
We tried to get
Mr.
it
X,
clear.
please, sir.
He barked
Could
at
you
us.
change it to anything else? Yeah, we gave him notes. He just barked at us, so we gave up.
So now we have to go with like I don't think they have Delroy Lindo, but definitely like Cradle to Grave, and what's the other one?
Exit wound.
That he was in Exit Wounds.
Exit Wounds. Yeah, those are the other that also like those are also ones that are in that same space. Like, okay,
If only
give
he
me
had
another
a
try.
Canal in his name, we could jump straight to him next. But we
Yeah,
got some more Delroy Lindo to go.
exactly.
Pat, what are your thoughts on it? And then we'll get Ken's final thoughts, and then we'll talk about our next Delroy adventure.
Oh, I always enjoy this movie. Like I said, I think my biggest issue with Delroy in the movie is that, like I said, he's just kind of a level above everybody else. So he blends. I remember when we watched the movie the first time thinking, oh man, he's like a real actor. And no offense to everybody else, but there's a lot of like, comedians and people I didn't know. It's like, oh wow, he's the guy they paid the money to have in the movie. You know what I mean? Like he was the one they had to like open the checkbook a little bit. Like, yeah, we need some gravitas here. So, but always entertained by this film and the hilarity that ensues around it, and one of the most quotable films of my early adulthood.
Yeah. Ken, thoughts?
It was I think I was mixing it up with other films when we first started talking about watching it, and it may have been Exit Wounds that I was thinking of, but like I was so happy to come back. I'm like, oh right, this is the one with Russell Wong. That one still that reminder made me very, very happy for all the reasons I mentioned earlier. Really, really sad. It makes me sad about Aaliyah passing, really.
Yeah.
Because it felt like there's a lot of potential there, and it like on the screen, like it's as her first the whole fight scene, which I guess where Jet Li uses her limbs to fight, that was Jet Li's idea, and like they even redid it in a video game, I guess. It's really like a lot of like missed opportunities. I don't want to say wasted potential, but like missed opportunities is a better way to put it with Aaliyah.
There was she did have the charisma for the screen. Like she did. And they had good chemistry. Like her and Jet Li did actually. It seemed like they had. You could tell it was fun filming, for lack of a better way to phrase it.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily buy a lot of people that like hearing reviews like, oh yeah, it's an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, no, it's not. Like they're like, oh yeah, because the two warring gangs. I'm like, that has nothing to do with them. There's like they have chemistry together, but it's not like a romantic chemistry, just like a friendly chemistry. And I don't see like, and also like I don't know how we didn't mention it. They couldn't even say the name of the movie in the movie. Like it's like they got to the end and they're like, oh, Romeo, you gotta die.
Excuse me. Sorry, Romeo, but you gotta die.
You gotta die. They're like, nope. First take, best take. You're done. Moving on. Like he didn't even say the line right. Like, nope. We only have Isaac for Isaiah for so many days. It's time to go. Like, all right. Thanks.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering though. Is it like marketing came up with this like pitch for it?
Yeah,
because it's in the title, so that's what they were going for, and the directors mentioned it. So even though we don't see it as a 1-to-1 or even a close adaptation of it, that is what they were trying to portray in the movie, though, to some extent.
Disagree. If they did, they failed miserably because there's.
I said try. I didn't say succeed.
I mean, it is literally the warring families is kind of the loosest connection, but there's nothing else that really.
they're not even really warring though. They're actually
Well,
warring
they are.
internally on no, they're warring internally with
No,
themselves.
they were
Isaac is
warring.
gonna,
They were warring externally before we're introduced to the movie. That's what we're led to believe, that these two groups don't like each other.
But
The reason
then,
why they're not warring outright in the public is because they're trying to do this land deal.
yeah,
Had there been no land deal, there'd just be dead bodies everywhere.
but there was a land deal, and they were trying actively not to fight. And in fact, it turns
That's
out
what I'm saying,
two of them were teaming up to fight to oust one of the bosses so that they could take over.
Yeah.
but I guess I'm missing the land deal that happened in Romeo and Juliet part that I should reread the script of Romeo and Juliet where someone's trying to sell the Vienna to the NFL. I missed that part.
Oh man, it's all NFL wants.
Yeah, that's
Damn it, the NFL ruined Romeo and Juliet as well.
Yeah, that's the true villain.
No,
of Romeo and
I
Juliet.
get your argument, kid. I'm not saying that you're wrong on it. I don't think they executed it well, but they at least had a single meeting, maybe over lunch, that said we're going to do an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet because we're going to call it Romeo Must Die. And the closest we can get to it is that there are two families that don't like each other that have kids that sort of like each other.
So
that's his bet.
Let's talk this through a little bit, because then I would think what happened is that the original script probably hewed much more closely to Romeo and Juliet, and then they're like, well, we'll get a Lee in here. Well, what if we get Jet Li in? Well, we can't have them like, no, that's not going to work. So what if we do this? And I feel like maybe it started there, and then it just kind of like got
so then
away.
And that brings us back to our point: is at the end, we're just going to hug because we can't have an Asian man get any love on screen in 2000.
Pretty much.
Unless it's with another Asian woman. But that's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, to Pat's point, they had a script, and maybe the races were entirely different to begin with. Someone wrote this adaptation years before hip hop and kung fu got matched up, and they were like, "Hey, I bought the script off to somebody." The two main people were actually in love, but this kung fu hip hop thing is kind of cool. So why don't we get Aaliyah? Why don't we get Jet Li? And to Ken's point, they can't actually touch on screen because that's gross. And so, but we'll keep the title because I already paid for it.
I'm this is all just conjecture. This is our ideas, and African Americans and martial arts have been tied together, bonded since The Last Dragon and Bruce Leroy. So let's
probably before that too. All I'm saying is that
they are together.
It was brought back
into
the mainstream in the late 90s, early 2000s. And someone said, I got a script from, probably the early 90s that had a whole different thing. It was probably two white people who knows. We're going to change the characters. And that basically cuts out the romance part, which is, the epitome of Romeo and Juliet is their love. The families are just kind of in the background.
This was a Mel Gibson, Meg Ryan movie in 1994.
Just show me the script. I want to see the script then. I want to see. Yeah. Like this is just.
I'm saying that's the only way that this makes sense is that they would keep Romeo Must Die in the title and then have the director come out and say that this is an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet and then not be anything like it.
Did he say that?
Yes.
When? Show citations needed. Drop the clip in here so that I will feel like a fool. That like, oh, that's where Andres. That's the name of the director.
Is that how you say it?
That's where he said it.
Okay.
Andres? Andr.
I think you're getting more racist as you try and pronounce it.
Andres. I could be wrong. I'm fine being wrong.
Yeah.
That you spoke Spanish.
We'll add the citation.
But to my point though, is like I think this is us like kind of filling in gaps. We don't know that for sure. I feel like that. I think.
Okay. What we do know is that it's called Romeo Must Die. Damn it.
Yeah. By marketing.
And hold on. And nowhere in the movie is his name Romeo though. But what do you think they're trying to imply here, Ken?
It's called Oakland Hustle. That was the original name for the script.
But that's not.
Oh my God! It's so bad.
It's called Romeo Must Die.
I feel like
Oakland Hustle.
Oh,
it's in Oakland, and they're trying to hustle land. What do you want from me? Okay,
it's not great. Not for sharing.
I'm not the one who wrote the script. Okay,
it's almost as good as Oakland land.
I'm not blaming you. I didn't shoot the messenger though, so.
He's pulling a Mac. He just shoots whatever's in front of him badly. All right.
Sorry, mail carrier, but you got to get delivered.
Do we know what we want to talk about next for our one? Are we going to give people a heads up on the next Delroy thing? Another project of his that we want to explore.
As the voice and the face of the podcast, I think Jason should be here to say something. But until then, why don't you let us know what you want?
I'm just saying, we got a ton. We got a bunch of stuff. We could do Malcolm X. We can do
So we'll be
Congo.
We will
can
be
do Get Shorty, Ransom, Broken Arrow.
Oh, I'm gonna vote Get Shorty.
We could do the
because
one.
he's really.
We can do the core.
We can do the one
lady.
with Jet Li and Delroy Lindo.
Another one? Yeah, we can we can wrap.
No,
up
I'm just saying that they're also together in the one. That's
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
We can wrap. We can do another one with them in it.
Oh, do we? Oh, okay.
I got you double entendre, Ken.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do
Broken
that
Arrow.
one.
That's
He's
what I
Colonel
said.
Max Wilkins.
I will vote for Get Shorty.
I forgot he was in Domino
because he gets to play a bad guy.
Oh, the one time he gets to play a bad guy, Pat?
He's really good bad guy. Well, I mean, I guess technically he's kind of a bad guy in Devil's Advocate, but it's an uncredited role.
He's a bad guy in this movie.
Is he? He's trying to become good.
Trying to become good from being a bad guy.
We never see him order any murders.
That's all Mac. That's all on Mac.
He's giving Mac carte blanche to do whatever he needs to get the land. The fact that he murders people is just a bonus.
Well, now you're
it isn't like he doesn't know what Mac is doing. When people go missing, it isn't like he's going, "Where did so and so go, Mac?"
But that's what his lawyer tells him to say.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what makes him even more of a bad guy.
We will be revisiting the Delroy Lindo series throughout the year, and we'll be bringing you more of his movies, reviewing, discussing, parsing, probably saying some stupid stuff would be my guess.
Oh, we can get him a devil's advocate for his early Jamaican 2-minute bad guy speech. We got a couple. Either way,
we gonna pair that with like Brad Pitt speaking patois, put them together and be like, oh, this is a lot of questionable stuff here.
Was that Brad Pitt or was that Leonardo DiCaprio?
Brad Pitt.
No, Brad Pitt speaks patois in Me Joe Black, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Feeling Irie.
Leonardo DiCaprio does it in Blood Diamond, right?
Yeah, he got nominated for an Oscar for it. Bling, 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 bang.
Pop, pop.
All right. Well, either way, we'll come back with another villain movie for Delroy next time we talk about it.
Wait, then
I should be on there. Yeah, I got it.
I guess that begs the question: since he is a cop and ACAB is Gone in 60 Seconds, is he a villain in there?
No, he's a cop.
Exactly.
Nicolas Cage is the bad guy.
I mean, but also we understand
Wait,
ACAB.
who am I? Yeah, who am I rooting for?
Yeah, that's my point.
I'm not rooting for anybody. They're all fucking losers, including the woodsman or the craftsman, whoever the fuck that guy was.
Even Angelina Jolie, we're going to root against her? That's fine.
I mean, I guess technically, she was the only blue collar worker there. I guess we're rooting for her.
Yeah. Oh, what about Timothy Oliphant, Detective Drykoff?
You mean the cop? Well,
yeah,
we're definitely rooting against him. He's a white cop.
Cop, man.
He's definitely.
Look, we have to do Gone in 60
He's probably the worst guy to all of them.
We have to do Gone in 60 Seconds to connect it to the Fast and Furious universe. That's why we have to do the movie.
Because of brothers' love. Because of brothers' love.
Damn right.
Chai McBride in there too. Like this is we got some good people.
Maybe go save family.
Family.
Either way, we'll be becoming a bad guy role for him. So stay tuned. I want to thank Bruce for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce.
This recap.
Yeah,
Hopefully
sorry.
you'll be able to,
next time I'll use my laptop.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's been fun.
All right, I'm going to get to the baby.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.